Hello, Internet.
Hello.
There's this library
ASMR time?
my work.
Please don't.
Mountain View. And I don't know what it was about me, other than my aura of handle animal stat, I guess. But it would be sitting completely still, and it would see me across the room and be like,
the 2 sodas that we haven't opened, just
sorry, like doing little twitches, and then once I got close enough, split second would just be like, I'm gonna play with you. Like jump on me, and I was like,
Oh my guarding your bowls like a fucking.
Didn't do that with anyone else.
I totally understand that. What?
Hey!
I'm a little jealous?
Hey! I didn't say you could have my slices. I said,
I'll help you guard it.
I said Jess could have
Put your
mine.
hand over mine.
it should be boy bowl.
As we eat bowl
Nice.
bread.
Don't do the thing where you stop doing it.
No, wait, here. Hold.
Who's lady and who's the trick?
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
That's right.
Tony, guys, just cross your arms.
They're trying.
Here.
Just
Yeah.
Wow.
Someone take a photo of Lisa's face.
We accept tips and
Are you crying?
get the view.
Why are you crying? So
I guess people saw it.
That was the perfect tone.
yeah, no, they can see it from there.
Can I have my fan?
No, I don't know where your fan is.
Is it right here?
My one of them is right there. I'll just have whichever.
Post that to the 3 of us, or just me.
Right.
This is
So,
Deanna's.
Next
Mine's
week we're gonna
green.
get Jaren like just holding.
this is game internet.
That's right.
It's called For the Queen.
For the queen.
For the Queen! And
Yes,
the queen.
Of England.
first, well, you want to read the rules first, or you want to blindly pick a queen?
Let's finally pick
I
a
want to
queen.
play the
Can we each
We
pick a
all-
queen?
Like,
We
I
all
like
pick
this
one
one
as a
right
group.
now.
Oh, we all pick one as a group. Put it back,
One-
Sally.
Oh,
Which of these
I
do you
wrote
think
that one.
would employ a motley crew? Motley crew, such as ourselves.
I do like the Egyptian one right
They
here.
all look vaguely complicated.
Although I also
so
like
don't
this
know.
one right here.
Yeah.
that one.
that
knows.
one. You like that lady?
True to form.
I don't.
We all like fucking different things.
I know, right? Alright, which one do you like, Sally?
Why don't we just mix them up and
No,
just draw
I'm
a
just
random
gonna
one?
I'm gonna like remove things as we don't like them.
Okay, I'll go with that one.
You like that one? I like this
Pull it
one.
apart.
Yeah.
Which one do you like, Lisa? You like this one? I mean, yeah, but
I could go with either of those.
I also am fond of that one.
Alright, we're fond of these two. Alright, guys. Are you fond of any other ones?
You want John to silence?
I do want John to decide on something.
You have to pick a queen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. That's annoying.
Together.
That's allowed? No.
Look at this married couple trying to think.
I know, right? Take all day, why don't you? I got somewhere to be. Decide faster.
Fine, let's go with that.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. Let's go, yeah.
Did
Alrighty.
you both go with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Majority.
Alright.
At the same time.
Can I just remove
Yeah,
these?
Okay.
Do I leave
her
this
out.
out? And you hand me
Alright.
this?
There's the fucking devil queen.
That's right. She's wearing actual functional armor.
Yep.
Just be a tiefling now.
Sure. Now,
She might be perfectly sweet.
we're gonna all read the rules together
Woo,
Yeah.
okay.
to start the feeling of camaraderie. So you read your card and pass it until
Okay.
we're out of cards.
Oh.
Go around the table clockwise, taking turns reading these cards aloud. Is this clockwise? It's not.
That's
It
fine.
doesn't-
Something wise.
The land you live in has been at war for as long as any of you have been alive. Oh, I didn't switch that. Never mind.
The queen has just.
Put it. Oh, there you go.
Rude.
Camaraderie broken. Immediately.
The queen has decided to undertake a long and perilous journey to broker an alliance with a distant power.
The queen has chosen all of you and no one else to be her retinue and accompany her on this journey.
I like the and no one else.
That's it.
Right? That should be
She
telling.
chose you because she knows that you love her.
What about all the random people who are having some too?
You are welcome to look through the queen cards for inspiration. If there is one that seems right for the group,
Keep it.
place it on the table to inspire your story.
Is that what we just did? Yep. Okay. Set the card that reads, "The queen is under attack. Do you defend her?" aside.
I did that already.
Oh.
Is that what this is?
No.
Shuffle the red prompt cards and place them face down in the center of the table.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Ba-ba.
I jumped the gun. I put the queen is under the attack card in the middle of the deck
Oh,
for approximately 30-minute game.
When you have read the instruction cards, continue clockwise with the red prompt cards. Take turns reading the questions out loud. Interpret these questions and answer them however you wish.
As a group or individual?
Individual.
Okay.
Other players may ask you questions or make suggestions on your turn, but whether you answer those questions or include those suggestions is entirely up to you. Fuck all y'all.
Alright, lone
It
wolf.
begins. I mean, look at her.
Yeah.
She's going to ask for assistance. Like, I need help.
My queen, your voice is
Place the X card somewhere everyone can easily reach it.
That's not gonna happen.
I mean,
No,
Okay.
as
not, with,
feasible as we can make it.
not with everybody in this
We
section.
need like two. We need 2 X cards.
If you encounter
Yeah.
a card or an answer that you don't want to be included in the game, tap the X card. That content is removed from the game.
Maybe we can just put like another card here and be like, "This is our X card, and that's your X card."
Alright. I'm just double X.
I don't want to know.
Right? No.
If you draw a card that is removed this way, simply draw another card. You can X a card that you drew yourself.
You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and say, "I'd like to hear your answer to this question."
I'm sorry, can you read that again?
Yeah.
You
You
can
can also
looking at your shirt.
It's a mood.
I know.
Really, because it's a mood.
I know.
Okay. You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and say, "I'd like to hear your answer to this
I
question."
can't stop looking at it now.
You're welcome.
It's the
A prompt card can be passed around the table until someone applies the X card to it.
Continue answering, passing, and Xing questions until the queen is under attack card is drawn.
Each player should answer that question in turn, then the game is over.
And the question is, do you defend her?
That's the final question.
Whoever wants to draw, I'm sorry, whoever
Whoever wants.
wants to can draw the first prompt card. There should be a comma after that.
Sorry that they're not English.
questions?
I want Rabbit to go
No,
first.
David S. Pumpkins.
Let the rabbit go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because you know.
Show us the way, Rabbit.
Seems like a very simple game. But good.
The queen lights a fire in you. What is it?
Oh, I bet.
A sexy
literal
fire.
fire.
I mean, I would date that, so that's my
Yeah.
answer. It's right with me.
Well,
A literal fire.
I mean, look at
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, but you love her.
I love her. I love her so much, and I am a fan of heat.
You've been living in the Midwest too long.
She made me drink gasoline.
She threatens me every day.
Good night, Wesley. Sleep well.
She was just trying to
She literally.
teach me a fire spell, and for some reason I'm usually the target. It doesn't hurt that much. She inspired my passion to get good at spells.
Alright.
Get good.
Get gooder, scrub. Okay.
Get good.
Okay, so basically we're just trying to like.
It's
roleplay
a
it
story.
all?
It's a storytelling game.
Okay.
Yes. You kind of like build your character. You could say something.
So it's not
negative.
just, you don't just answer, you also have to
Like,
build the story
yeah.
around it, given
Yeah.
what has already been said. Okay.
Do you?
You don't have like if you pick up on someone else's like
Oh.
oh yeah, that spell. She's teaching me spells too, but
Oh, okay.
actually I wouldn't love that. Yeah.
Okay.
And you're building a narrative. Either it's going to be like she's horrible, like the game I played. The first one was really positive, and the second one she murdered her own children because she wanted a boy.
Damn!
Same group.
Yeah.
The queen is not your queen. Why do you serve her anyway?
Oh.
That's an option.
Well, when I look at my queen, I think that she is a strong ruler who won't let anybody just do what they want. And I like the fact that she is decisive.
Okay.
Oh. Reach. Reach.
What do you do for the queen that anyone else can do, and why does she make you do it?
Yeah.
I just.
It's the way I hold that shovel. Something about it.
Right, I get a good lean.
Thanks.
I got a good lean.
Oh, she's looking at the queen cards. I'm like,
So
who's this?
she's keeping herself from getting distracted.
That's fine.
You
Come
can
on.
X, you can pass.
No way.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna X this one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
You can do one other then.
Then when you exit, do you put it there or do you put
You
it
can
there?
put it there.
I think I'm. Yeah, that's
Oh,
the X
figure it
part.
out.
What do you do that pleases the queen on this journey?
I have a lot of answers.
It's just getting
to
more
that.
specific.
I specifically
It's trying to
did
get you
not
to say
something
something.
sexy for that,
Yeah.
even though I wanted to.
Well,
It's okay. We still have these two to get
yeah, I'm
through. So
like,
you know.
Yeah.
we're gonna start fucking.
It's coming, guys.
Get the weekend ready.
Oh, fuck. As the group gossip, I tend to whisper what everyone else is doing in the queen's ear.
What was the question again? What do you do?
Oh.
What is the queen on this
Okay.
journey? I keep her informed on the goings on of the group.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, guy won't trust you.
I'm gonna read you want to pass.
Thank you. What do you do to disappoint the queen on this journey?
Were these shuffled?
Fuck that, John.
It's like apples to apples and Cards Against Humanity. If you play with the right group, it's the same game.
Oh my god, Megan's gonna cry.
John.
You
Well-
didn't sow properly. Sow those oats, I mean.
I have a
Apparently he did not
pair
sew them properly.
of very old and ratty underwear that I still keep because they can still be worn. I will not throw them away, and I know she hates it. When I get
If I
up,
wear them inside out, it's like they're
right.
new.
I mean, that's why you just go commando.
When I do my stretches in the morning before breakfast,
She is very displeased,
and she sees that I am wearing them, I can feel the disdain.
and she does not join us for
I
It's
breakfast.
also
almost
feel
enough
that
to make me
disdain.
throw them away.
But not
Almost.
quite. Yeah, sorry.
Oh man.
The other troops have begun to complain.
I think it's just 3 elastic at this point.
Oh.
Tony.
The queen trusts you, but no one else in the royal court does.
Which is fun.
Why?
I mean,
Have you met Tony?
Well,
Right?
she thinks it's someone else.
Just tell it like it is.
I don't know, man.
The royal court is full of fops and dandies.
Whatever. Your fault.
Well, we're not the court. We're on this journey with her.
Oh,
That's right.
never mind.
Yeah. Whereas I've actually seen battle like her. That is why she trusts me, but no one else in the royal court.
I ship them.
There you go.
Queen X Tony.
Wow.
No.
Oh God.
Oh, the text on there. It's like she didn't even read the whole thing.
That was just immediate.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
No.
she'll get there.
This is not weird because you're just too busy laughing.
Oh, like, do you want me to read it?
You want
No,
to
I can get it.
Okay.
Okay, alright.
Breathe. Do it.
Okay. You are considered ugly by almost everyone you meet. How does the queen make you question that perception?
I just want to answer all these with sex.
Yeah, by gently touching your cheek, and tucking your hair behind your ear.
The queen knows how good I am at my job and reminds me that looks are not everything and that I am better at my job than most people and I should focus on that because I have many qualities besides my looks.
In bed.
Being ugly.
This is how we're just gonna end it, like everything is like fortune cookie.
They're just all fortune
Queen
cookies.
makes that perception between the sheets.
Yeah.
Alright. When was the last time the queen showed you real kindness? When she didn't torch Amanda's character to a burnt crisp.
Just slightly sad.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she must really care.
Well,
I'm gonna do the thing.
Oh yeah, do the thing.
What do you do for the queen that no one else can do?
Oh no.
What can you do for the queen that no one else can do?
Yep.
Okay.
I can play lovely music to help her make her fire stronger towards
Oh
Amanda.
no.
and
Like,
recreation
she's
uses
like,
skill,
oh, an
Amanda.
inspiring tune. Okay. Yes, burn.
Wow.
Dying.
The queen gave you a compliment once.
Very nice.
Yes.
Exquisitely flammable.
January 27th, yes.
What and why have her words stayed with you?
You look really nice when you're on fire.
Oh, you sing beautifully.
You smell better than most people.
Conflagrating.
The flames really bring out your eyes.
Ouch.
She complimented my hair
Before.
and told me how much she wished that her hair had such a natural curl and bounce rather than how frizzy hers is, and that was just moments before she lit me on fire. And her hair looks more like hers.
Not the hair.
Too much relaxing.
How does the queen remind you of her status while on the journey? Well,
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
She lets you know.
She just laying it on fire. I don't know what else. What else you can question there?
she has two items that
sooner?
show her status.
Uh-huh.
Besides the fact that she just has a regal bearing. One is her scepter, which is the item that shows that she is the person of state. The other thing is her whip.
Oh, yeah.
I like the whip better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both can be used on both.
I was almost certain you were going to say that she was a topic.
What makes the queen ugly in your eyes?
Me.
Ooh.
Mega. She won't be better at acting.
The fact that she brings Amanda. I left that out of my comments.
Actually, the fact that she does destroy what she is jealous of, instead of letting beautiful things grow, She
And she's nice to me because I'm ugly.
She brings. I mean, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I'm just into her being like being all tough and stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The queen knows something about you that no one else does.
Well, we all know about the
I was
Johns.
about to say, after the underwear, there's not much left.
Right.
What's under the
She's
underwear?
seen me to the core.
We all have.
What is it?
Oh.
Huh.
You have 3 nipples.
What do you know about it?
We've all seen it.
Yeah, I was about to say what?
Oh.
That's how he introduced himself.
Okay, you have 3 balls? I mean,
That's how he introduced himself.
I'm a 3 nipple, 3 ball person.
Hello.
They
I
call
have,
me
you
the-
think you're supposed to have 2 of everything. I have 3.
Whoa!
We call him the thrice blessed.
Does that make
Thrice blessed.
I like it.
Wait, you have 3 cheeks too?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Oh no.
That's a tough one. Tony.
It's called a Brit.
Oh, Beth.
yeah.
He would like to know your answers.
As in, my character's answering this now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
All right. Oh. Tell me about the rabbits, George. Queen knows something about you that no one else does. What is it? Oh.
Like pudding pops.
You put things up your
My
butt.
lovely teeth.
You also like a coffee and a
You know, I like the,
Yes.
I like the potential for tie into the first one.
You like light things on fire?
She's seen me in battle, and it's not known by really anyone else that I take delight in murdering the others.
Oh no.
So you're the sadist, I'm the masochist.
Well,
You're the bard.
yeah.
You're the person with shitty underwear. You're the ugly one.
Does that
That's
make me
right.
a rogue?
Yes.
Wait, what's a bard?
Oh,
Find-
what?
find your ammunition.
Inspired.
Yes, exactly what you
You
mean.
play
Oh.
music and inspire people.
Wow. Wow.
Considered beautiful by everyone.
Oh, wow.
How does the queen make you question that conception?
Holy shit.
Well,
So confused.
it depends on who you talk to, because I'm from a different region than most of the rest of us.
Oh, no, she's racist. Great.
So, most of the people here in camp who are
Yes.
of the Queen's country consider me to be ugly. If I go back home, I'm
Put 'em on the
actually
fish
considered
Beautiful.
very beautiful.
Nice.
So while the Queen does tend to remind me that it doesn't matter that they call you ugly, you're good at your job. But at the same time, if I ever get too confident, she makes sure to bring me down a peg and remind me that everybody thinks I'm ugly.
Bipolar?
Oh, no, it's one of those gnarly backhanded compliments. So
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, it's just like it's talking to my mother.
What makes the queen beautiful in your eyes? Why don't you just look at her? Like, who wouldn't want to bone that?
She
Like,
looks like
she's-
she's got, like she wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what makes her
that's-
beautiful. Because
yeah.
she's gonna
Yeah.
murder you in your
It's
sleep.
the danger.
She's so pretty because she wants to kill me.
I mean, I was really into that plague doctor running around yesterday.
Yep.
No idea what he fucking looked like.
Dude, he was scary.
I was
Yeah, that's the
Loving
point.
every second of it.
Plague Doctor mask is nice.
Yeah.
He even had the nice white brim. And
Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
super,
nice.
super huge pointed
Yeah, you
white
could just put
brim
a Plague
hat.
Doctor mask on that. I'd bone that twice.
Oh, please wear
What's
the
in
plague
the
doctor
mask?
mask, my queen.
What part of this journey will be the most difficult? How do you pull the rest of the retinue through it? What is retinue mean?
All of us.
It's us.
Yeah,
Your crew.
her peeps.
I think
You
they-
have a retinue that follows you around at the parade.
I think the hardest part about this journey is trying to play music for everybody, with everyone in battle, and not being able to hear me over the gunshots. But I will be helping everyone be be pulling everyone through by playing very inspiring music,
There you
and
go.
they can hear it.
Barding Julianne.
I'm just your personal musician.
Why do you think the queen trusts you enough to bring you on this journey?
You're
like
very,
fire.
very durable.
Yeah, I was gonna say you haven't run away yet, and I'm like, oh.
I kind of keep coming back. Like,
Yeah.
I thought we were friends, so I'm just gonna keep going with that, like, friendly,
Just keep swimming.
just
kind of an
smiling,
asshole, but
happy,
she's not an asshole.
yeah.
That's right.
And I've got a lot of hit points. So I make good target practice.
There you go.
Yes.
A lot of
Can't relate.
conversation. You arranged for the queen to be ambushed on this journey.
Oh.
What did they offer you?
$3,000.
Okay.
She said butt sex.
Yep.
Internet, did you hear
I
it?
thought that said sat. Like a butt
B-U-
sack.
A butt sack? No, not
So
butt
they
sack.
offered
12-pack of Corona.
that, assuming that this succeeded, that I would get to work for an even hotter queen. They showed me the picture and everything.
Wow.
Right, right.
And
Yeah,
I
but
was-
it could be an Anne of Cleves situation.
Right.
I'm gonna get catfished by the assassins.
I never said I was smart.
No, yes.
I'm
Right.
just really horny,
Oh,
apparently.
Right.
You just thirsty.
Like that one has a mace.
Nice.
I'm just thinking, what's this?
You sometimes think you might be the queen's favorite.
Ooh, la.
Why?
Fate.
And why does this worry you?
Oh.
Nice.
She will go on fire next.
Well, well, obviously, as the one who deals in all the information and keeps Her Majesty up to date in all the goings on amongst everyone and outside, I'm a very good person to have around. So it's obvious that she might favor me. But should I ever give her wrong information,
Ooh.
I would fall from grace quite quickly.
You'd also burn her dress.
Yes.
Man, I don't even really have a job. I must be the gigolo.
Just funny because you're not the bard.
Psh, that's a stereotype.
You were summoned to a private meeting with the queen once. Why did you feel disappointed afterwards?
I don't like it when people have three things. It really turns me off.
I'm really not into three.
biggest disappointment of my life. On the way there, I was like, finally, the queen noticed. All of that morning stretching regimen has finally paid off. And
You're right there.
turns out it was a meeting with HR about how my bits need to stay private.
Privates need to stay private.
That's why they're called privates,
And-
sir.
She kept trying to tell this to me, and I kept trying to
Giggling.
Yes, I kept thinking it was innuendo, and it wasn't.
Oh.
So I crashed and burned.
Oh.
Only figuratively, though.
Yeah, we've only
Yes,
got one person.
as
that
opposed to
actually
literally.
burns.
The queen sometimes shows interest in your personal life. How do you respond to that? Why?
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 I respond with curt, matter-of-fact replies. Almost clinical. Why? Because, quite frankly, she scares me.
So I hear you like killing people.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
that happens.
I could say that.
What is something you do for the royal family that has prepared you well for this journey?
Oh. You're ugly.
She's
But pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty ugly.
You're ugly.
She'll
Your
be here
lucky
next week, guys.
You're ugly, Betty. All you need to do is take off the glasses and pull your hair down, and then everyone's like, oh.
Right. Previously, I was an ambassador from my land to this one, but working very closely with our current queen's parents, I have a working knowledge of the various, what's the word I'm looking for?
Politics, inner workings.
Foreign policies
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
of this land. At this point, I chose to stay here, and so I can help her deal with other lands.
All right, because we are on a diplomatic mission, technically.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're
The queen is under attack. Do you defend her?
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
So how does this end card work?
Everyone,
do we
we go around and say yes or no.
Okay.
So
If
I
it's
missed
no, then why?
what they said.
Okay. You just missed Megan's.
Oh, okay.
Alright, but we pull the final card.
Yeah.
The queen is under attack. Do you defend her? I defend her. Do you defend the queen? And if you say no, you have to explain why you don't.
Yes. She hasn't attacked me yet, so yes.
Alright.
She's
Rabbit?
only,
I
she's
don't
only
know,
treating her
man.
kind.
I mean, that's fair. Like, that's totally fair.
I think y'all know my answer already.
Well,
You're like, if
rabbit's
I
a
I
no.
think I'm just gonna hang in the back.
Yes.
just let it happen.
Alright, you're defending.
Actually, I do not,
I can see that.
Oh.
because now I have information about her.
Ooh,
I
la.
realized I should have said no because of the ambush. Oh well, I'm
To
done. She doesn't want me for my
You
brain.
got to put up a show at the very least if she
Yeah.
survives.
Yeah.
True enough.
because I know her inner weaknesses,
Oh.
and I can very much ally myself with someone who doesn't quite frighten me so much.
No,
No.
I'm going to defend the queen because
Because she doesn't like your
she's
face.
kind of racist, and also,
She's against my Johns.
I mean, I love her, but nobody makes me throw away my lucky pair of eyes. Not even this queen.
Yeah.
So I go hang out with
With rabbit.
Rabbit in the back.
What the hell was told me?
I thought I was gonna score, and I got yelled at. So.
It's scratched.
Tony.
Yeah.
Was that yeah that you were acknowledging me asking a question, or was that yeah you're gonna defend the queen?
I think that was a yeah. You're gonna defend the queen.
I don't know,
because
But
it's fine.
only to a point.
It's a yes or no
If
question.
the, if, yeah, yes, unless the tide turns.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no. She's kind of mean, but nice, but kind of mean.
That's backhanded compliment.
She's got a lot going on.
She tells me I'm pretty, and then she tells me I'm ugly, and then
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, I'm pretty sure the reason that we're in this mess in the first place is because she wasn't listening.
Just saying.
Alright.
That's it. I wish there was a more like a consequence for like
Yeah, for yes or no's.
yes or no, but
Yeah.
that's
Wait, who won that? Was it mostly yes or
I think
no?
it
It wasn't
no.
mostly no's.
It
It
was
was the three of us were yeses, and everyone else here was like.
Wasn't Tony a yes?
Tony was a yes.
Tony was like, yeah.
I was a yes to a no.
So it was
So-
4-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I felt like I was mostly it was mostly heavily.
You're like
towards
3.5, 4.
Yeah.
I was like two yeses,
Three.
3,
Yeah.
4.
No.
No.
Tony's the fourth.
Sort of.
1, 2, 3.
4.
Yes.
Sorry.
And I had said 4. No, Tony's the fourth.
I didn't count. I thought you were going this way.
Okay,
Sorry.
so it was half and half.
Yeah.
But this one's on the.
No.
No, that one. Yeah, that was
Oh.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
But she
She should have said no because she was supposed to.
I think I'll win regardless of what happens.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks for bringing it over, Ram.
Very nice, very
That's
nice.
a cool concept. Though.
And
Yeah.
you guys get to keep this because I pre-ordered, or I didn't pre-order. I ordered one from a shop because they promised me it would be in before I left, and then it wasn't. But I still really want to play with you guys, so I ordered this on Amazon. Merry Christmas!
I like this one.
Noise.
I love the cards.
Nice.
Yeah,
So pretty.
it's cool.
Pass me the queen.
Can you pass me that bitch?
Yeah,
Are you?
Mhm.
What are you doing? Are you just guarding the door? Is that what you do?
I went to
What
a
is
board game night, and
To be entirely honest, JC, I think she's waiting for my parents to come home.
Oh, baby.
yeah.
Yeah,
Poor Becca.
it's not gonna happen.
Oh,
They're
No.
not bad internet.
I really.
Right.
My
Based on the reaction we had.
character last time just accidentally became a rogue. You know.
Alright,
And
I'll be back in
I
like
got that same.
a couple of hours. Wish me luck, because
luck.
I haven't had to de-virus a computer in a while.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I told you, just move their
Yeah,
files
I
somewhere
know
else.
what you
so they
know.
can
Remember
nuke
what
it.
you told me. It doesn't mean it's gonna work.
I got your
That's being all
question of like you're gonna ambush the queen
Do
for
the
the
other
day
way,
without
nuke it.
me, and I was already starting to
I
play
really
like
want
the.
to, but I don't know if that's really an option.
I'm not entirely honest, haha.
Next
kind
time
of
we should do this will be
And,
because
uh,
like she looks nice. but
That's the
also
one that
she
Sally
does.
wanted originally.
Yep.
Oh, we should have done her. She's like nice. She looks nice and mean, so we could go either way.
But yeah, when I got to the Queen paid you a compliment card, I was like, because what I traded for the ambush was like some precious metal because there's a shortage. So I wanted like some new weapons. Made myself a nice belt buckle. And I was like, oh, the Queen complimented me on my belt buckle.
She knows. She knows.
Dang. I was like, oh, look how that turned out.
She complimented you with your nice hair and brushed it off.
I'm sorry, Fluffy.
And then
Did you
we
give Fayal
had,
dinner?
Not yet. But she was pretty calm during dinner, so I'm kind of surprised.
Still needs to eat though.
Yeah, feed your creature.
I'm still gonna feed her.
Creature.
My tummy's mad at me. Science fiction.
For a hot minute, I was going to try and convert that to WoW. Since my computer troop would put it on. But,
For what?
Creature feature.
Oh,
Wow.
I know, right? Have you met me?
Unfortunately, yeah.
That's what's up. Hi guys, welcome to my TEDx talk. Today I'm going to be talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
not
Separately.
And when a dragon loves a dungeon, what happens?
Have we ever actually played a game in this group that had a dragon appear? Was
I
that a
believe so.
thing?
We had a dragon in my one shot
Oh.
that I one
Actually,
shot.
she
Yeah,
had,
that's
she had dragons in both her games.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because there were dragons in Dresden. They just
Oh,
looked like
okay. Well, I was,
dragons.
yeah, I was thinking more
twin
like
dragons.
They were asshole
an
dragons.
actual
Yeah.
D&D
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Why didn't you know
Yeah, no,
that?
there was one of the Centaur.
No, we
I remember
Renders.
now.
There was a big red dragon.
Reavers
I
and-
never even got
I've
to
definitely
hunt.
dungeoned you.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
didn't realize.
Or
Yes,
like
I
like
remember.
dungeon crawl.
I remember.
What happened?
I didn't realize I was gonna punch my own dragon that hard.
Yeah, you don't walk straight for a little while if you do that.
I tell you what. What? That's it.
I told you.
There's a Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell
Yeah,
board game.
I'm actually curious about that as
Amanda
well.
brought that too.
Oh. Have you played it yet?
No.
The dog just creepily
Neither does
walked into my room, stopped at the door, and just stared me in the eyes. It just stood there for like 10 seconds. Was like, I was like, what do you
She knew
want?
what you did.
What do you want from me?
She knew what you did.
Probably food.
She just stared at me for no reason, and then just turned around and walked away. I was like, what?
Would you be so kind as to
Give the dog water.
Yeah, that too. But when you're done with that, could you bring me my iPad, please? My iPad.
I think that's easier iPad too.
I've already wiped everything that has anything to do with me off of it and given it to you.
But the serial number isn't your part that you pick.
Technically, I didn't.
We'll pay for it.
Jeez.
So you stole cheeses like that?
No, she bought it for me
Oh, I'll give nice.
Well, happy birthday.
when she got her inheritance.
Yeah.
That was finally released to her because she was over 20 something. Yeah.
Mm.
So where is your iPad?
On my
Kind of a
desk.
sad reason to get it,
Yeah. And she was like, I want to get something.
You haven't even popped out the thingies
No.
yet.
No, I did the, like, when she opened it, I was like, not mine.
I like it.
Something that
I bought it when I went to order the other game for the Queen. I saw this on the shelf. And I was like,
Thank you.
Is it
I
any
really
good
like
though?
Wow.
It sounds good.
Well, let's see
I
what
like
board
the
game
style.
Yeah, I'm like, what are the? Oh, that art.
Yeah.
Oh, that
It's
art
like
though.
Old timey.
Wait, didn't we play that? No, we haven't yet.
No.
No. You just brought it
Think of the
last time.
show.
I haven't watched
I forget.
the show.
Have either of you read? Have any of you read the book?
Yes.
I have not.
The book good?
Well, I loved it.
It
it took me a bit to warm up to it. I started it. I was like, this is very intense and wordy. And then I watched the show and was like, okay, I have better grounding now of like what characters
What
are
the
doing
hell is all
what.
going on?
It's a 6
And then I went back and watched, or I mean, I went back and
Weight
watched the book.
2.75, so it's kind of complex.
I mean, look at the thing.
Yeah.
60 to 80 minutes playing time.
Mm.
I mean, I'm done.
Oh, look at
It
the
gets-
pretty art.
The book gets super technical, which is something that you either love or hate.
Like as far as
Like he's explaining,
magic systems?
yeah, like the components of like, well, I figured out that if this is this, then this happens. And if you want to do this, and then he just tangents. But it's all very relevant tangents.
Arr.
So
It's
like,
just
this
like,
game doesn't
I
even
know,
have
thick.
categories on it yet. It's
Oh, is it that new?
uncategorized on Board Game Geek. I'm like, what the
Oh.
fuck, nerds? Get to it.
It's that new?
I guess.
Mm. Alright.
Which side is the?
Left.
There's actually a bag by the step
Oh, whoops.
to your left. Yeah.
For cans.
And you said there are more of those?
Yes. In the garage refrigerator. The
There's a refrigerator.
The orange
I don't know where you guys
vanillas
put them.
are in the
I don't know where you guys put them. I don't know where they're in the back of the fridge.
yeah, open up the little fridge inside the garage.
Sneak behind you to get the big bag.
In the garage. Yeah.
Okay.
Go show her and get out of the way.
I'm just watching you work your masterpiece of John and Tony.
What are you doing?
Joni.
on it.
She's cooling.
That's one for the like.
What does it need,
Boy.
Sally?
Oh,
What does it need, Sally?
What are we gonna put a heart right there?
Oh my
No,
God.
right there.
Right here.
should just stream that.
Right? Just live stream your art.
No, that's awful. Why do we do that?
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do?
Look at you doodling.
Alright, what do you need this?
It's Pusheen's.
I like her new work toy. I want to steal her new work toy.
I got you.
Anything else?
Don't think so.
What about dice?
Hi. Thanks.
Yeah, but
You're welcome.
those are in my
Got you a good roll,
my other
man.
bag.
Yeah. Too bad I can't really hang on to it. Should have still next week. Yeah.
Samantha, what are you doing?
She's making art.
Your guys' faces.
Slash fiction.
Yeah.
I have so many lashes.
Look how happy she is. He's like, yay.
It's that Snapchat filter where it's the.
I'm just trying so
So actually
hard
that's
to
Instagram.
like-
Whatever. I hear it a lot from JC's phone, and I'm like, what the fuck is this daytime television music?
No, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
I think it's strong.
Oh, I have hella XP.
Actually, that makes sense because she follows Insta more now than she used to Snapchat.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
No.
I finally found a pen that works
Are you
properly.
having trouble finding
Yeah, I don't
it?
know where you guys are.
It's in the green bag.
Yeah, but where?
Inside.
No.
In the big thing.
That's what she said.
Weren't we in trouble last game?
No, I don't think so.
I don't trust
Once
you. Yeah.
You,
Oh, is this the time for me to look?
well,
Oh, I didn't write anything down.
you sort of completed.
Well, I've got
a-
my sister.
We got her
Yes.
sister, but she's all fucked up.
She's in a weird state.
Yeah, that's the one.
That instant recognition.
Captain Carlos.
Damn it.
Tilted ambush. Steal it. Actually, that just sounds more like a slow jam. Yeah, there it is. Oh, it haunts me in my sleep. Like literally, I'm trying to go to
Aw,
sleep
you
and
can
JC, that shit just plays all loud. I'm like, ah!
Please.
Told to ambush / steal the package to Salazar?
No, it's just gonna be funny.
Okay, so we grabbed the sister, right?
Oh yeah! We almost got murdered by the entire town guard.
Yeah, we terrified them, and then they
They're private
were
mercenaries, so.
Oh, and then I hired those guys.
No, but also the guard. Because we were starting shit in the middle of the
Yeah,
best part
well,
of town.
So
you
we have
sort of
We
split
had
before the
Veronica.
prepper guard
we
showed up.
got info about.
We're like, yeah, let's go.
She's combing out in someone's room right now?
Oh, got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Sorry. I'm playing it.
That way it was
You should,
so
yeah, you should play.
important
You
to
should
me.
play with your pocket pool somewhere else.
Got trouble.
Right here in River City.
I haven't heard pocket pool in a long time.
Yeah.
So if
Me
I'm a
either.
Centaur,
I'm sure she's gonna hit me in the ear with it in a moment. So she's pushing my buttons and
I was pushing his
Oh
buttons
yeah,
yesterday.
you had like even had the
Oh.
fucking most epic kill in that.
Oh yeah, she
Shadow
shot
Creature.
the.
shot through space
Shot
and
from
time.
the inside.
Yeah.
It was like freaking
She
awesome.
shot herself through space and time and threw a monster.
It was pretty
Yeah.
great.
I can see what she's doing. You guys are not gonna like it.
Oh,
I'm
You'll love
it.
it.
Sure.
No,
well,
but
everyone will be fine.
it's
Loving
really.
it.
So wait.
You want some more room, John?
What's that?
You want some more room?
I don't.
Yeah, we can scoot
We
down.
can clean plate, move down a bit.
Ah, that's not a bad idea.
I was like, yeah, we don't all have to be all up in your.
For you guys too, so you're not all shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, man, I can just take the head
I'll
of the
just
table.
take this. Okay. And then I'll just sit in the corner and watch
Did
it.
you want that one or did you want that
Oh,
one?
did you want?
I was gonna put my stuff on.
Oh!
Yeah,
Because
she's,
my stuff is on this one right now.
Well, this is. Oh, hi, Phil.
Because I need access to it, but also the dog.
really wants to know who you are.
So I'm not really asked what to read. Because a lot, like the last notes I have are about my peeps.
We could have just.
Because that's the last thing I remember.
Yes, your peeps.
It's a weird antenna, Amanda.
See all your secrets.
Before that, I
If you can decipher them.
found out
You're-
who
you're
the
welcome
fake
to
witch
do
is.
Did you want to speak
And,
on
and it's someone I know.
I'm just gonna spread, so yeah,
Okay.
you go ahead and do what you
Yeah,
want.
so you hire two good boys.
Oh, yeah.
So because of the ridiculous nature of your business, like you force me.
My business?
No, all
Our
of y'all's
collective business.
All y'all.
Oh no, I'm aware our collective business is ridiculous.
Like I have like multiple fucking tags on this slew of NPCs to sort of see like which part of the Venn diagram these people are part of. Because some of them are part of the trading company, and then there's like Mendez and then there's Jose's. And some of them are all three, but you know, they're not.
Yes, the
Well,
Venn
there
diagram.
is the possibility that my guys could end up with a Hussein.
You mind throwing me a pencil?
That's so good.
Oh yeah, that's alright.
That did improve it.
That's happening.
That did improve it. Not gonna lie.
Just getting some dreamy clouds in there.
Yeah.
Get the pink filter.
Yeah, you need that soft filter.
That's right. Blurred edges.
Uh-huh.
Diffused light.
That's right.
Yes.
Get a lens flare in there.
So. Yeah, Marvin Gaye, get up in here.
Marvin Gaye.
Wolgar. You good? So yeah, so you created a small riot, killed some mercenaries.
There's a riot? When did that happen?
No, we were the riot.
Oh, we
Yeah,
were
we're
the
the-
riot.
Yeah.
Got
So I
it.
said a
We were
small
handing out
riot.
fruit.
I was the brute squad.
It was very,
Sure, it was small though. I mean,
it was very contained.
Yeah.
It was very violent.
That old lady
Oh,
really
yeah.
liked all the
Wait,
fruit we
were you
giving
talking
her.
about the same one? I was talking about when we attacked the
To get my sister.
the dude.
Oh,
who was-
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought we were
but-
talking about the action.
yeah.
The
yeah.
actual riot.
We started a couple
The
riots
civil
last time.
disobedience.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
You started some shit up.
Yeah, Jenny like breaks open this like freaking iron gate
Yeah.
and then just goes in hot, and we just kind of go, oh, I guess this is happening.
Yep.
Everyone's
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
what is she doing?
Yeah, you met a creepy lady.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, which one was the creepy lady? And was
The
she
wife.
a duke?
Yeah,
No.
the wife.
The duke's wife?
She was in fact the duke's wife.
What
Was
duke?
she the duke?
Which duke?
Yes.
Be specific.
The duke that was a baron, or the duke that was a duke?
The duke.
He's not a duke, he's a
Yeah.
general.
Oh, sorry, duke that was a general.
This guy was a general. Jimena jeweled him.
Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I'm actually
can't believe-
legit being confused now.
No, we haven't done this yet, but I'm a duke. He's a duke. She's a duke. We're all dukes. Yeah.
Where's that from?
I'm a dude, he's a dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
King and Cal.
Oh,
like,
that's so funny.
The tentative description right now says the Duke nation question mark, and it says, I think there's a Duke in here somewhere. Also, I think his wife is important. Was he the general? I don't remember.
Oh, so good.
But was he the duke?
Okay.
There's
So,
a general and a baron. There is no
Yes.
duke.
so the creepy woman was the one that's actually the sister, or
She's
is
the
it?
general's wife.
Or is the Martian the
Yes.
They
Yes.
both of them
Sarmatian,
were
whatever.
basically
Those
Sarmatian,
fuckers.
yes.
those
Both of them
peeps?
were basically parading Jenya's sister around
As their
as if it
daughter.
was their daughter. And she was calling them mom and dad. And,
Yeah, it was creepy.
But Jenya did not recognize the voice that she was speaking with. And
I looked at that shit in the weave. It was weird. There was chains.
yes. And then Veronica has basically passed out after you passed the gate and has not regained consciousness since, which has made Jenya very sad.
Yes.
As you return to the estate, Jenya took care of her sister. You all went about your business, and then Rethold went to have a conversation with Xavier back from his
Right.
I was there too, I thought.
days-long
Because it
trip.
was
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
you came.
related-
You came around
related
too.
to me, it turns out.
Yeah,
as it
no,
turns
you were
out.
there.
I mean, I wrote all that stuff because I was like, Mandolfi!
Yeah, that's right. He gave a name for the lady that you suspect might have pulled some shit over the crowd when the two
I am pretty much
Inquisitors were
certain that
announced.
happened.
Yeah, because that's who we wanted the info on.
confirmed Fate Witch up in this bitch. So you, Marilena now has a rival, sort of pulling threads the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that an actual background?
Reverse Fate Witch. I thought that was an advanced.
Not
move
that you
only
know
for-
yet.
No, the rival.
I will tell you when it is.
Okay. Right, I'm still beneath her, bitch.
Well, that's
Good
how
enough
you.
for a background.
That's how you do a Reverse Fate Witch.
That's right. And you now have 1 day
So.
until the big party.
It's only 1 day. Alright.
Yeah, we gotta figure out. what
I
we're
don't
doing.
even have to remember what the fuck we planned.
I don't know that you consolidated the plan yet.
All I know is that Mena and I are going in as actual guests.
Jimena has stolen outfits.
Very
Yes.
lowly dresses.
Just acquired outfits.
Then we spent some time like fitting pockets in them so we could put.
Yeah,
things in.
we were sewing.
Yep.
We have altered them.
That's right. Rethel, Genia, and Evine have spent time casing the joint, getting in with the crew, sort of figuring out who's who. You got a good guest list, which is basically like a who's who of the hoity-toity around here.
Oh, good.
That was so
Oh, there
good.
we go.
So good.
Oh, we got the the cheeks.
Yep.
Clouds.
Uh-huh.
Steam.
I'm
Oh,
also
it's a lens flare, it's not steam.
I'm also
Right.
amused that
Yes.
both their wedding rings are in the picture.
That's right.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Oh, you
No.
done fucked up.
No, that's not John's wedding ring.
Isn't it?
No, it's both. They're both on.
Oh.
No, that's yours. It's just not Tony's.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's Tony's other ring.
What did you do?
Oh, you
Oh,
really
the
messed
top of
up.
that can is
Yeah.
nice and
Really
swollen.
done.
Did you find more in the?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a new one.
Okay.
I still can't find it.
So yes,
Jimena's hair is now entirely blonde. By the
finished a
way.
dye.
No roots. No,
roots.
fantastic roots.
She fixed her bad dye job.
You made it a good job.
Nice.
I mean, her hair is pretty fried, but at least it's blonde and not weird, the strange orange color that it has been.
Right,
For the
for
past.
only part of the hair.
Now what you need is a mustache.
Somewhere in here, I wrote
Right,
down
there you
a
go,
plan,
yeah.
Good
but I
horseshoe.
don't know where.
So yes, you awaken on that morning with 1 day to spare. The party is tomorrow.
Well, then.
Marlena, you awake, not having a job to do.
Oh. Weird.
No, worse, you're an owner.
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, I probably still go down there. Unless, like, people need me for something.
Well, if you wake up at around the same time, not everybody is up.
Yeah, whoever's taking that watch.
And I assume Genia's nowhere to be seen.
Nope.
I can't find it.
I probably would have taken a second or third watch. So I'd probably be back asleep by now out front.
Yeah.
Oh. We make a rudimentary plan. Steal it, social it, take it by force.
This is the extent of the plan.
Yep.
We can't be bothered.
Sorry, then we said reverse order, social it first, then steal it.
Yeah.
So
There was
social
a
is us,
discussion.
steal
Yeah.
it is
Smooch it, steal it, murder it.
Yeah.
is mostly Evie, it looks like.
Mostly Evie.
I'm part of it too, but mostly just to keep an eye on things. Because I can see shit. And then to take it is these two.
Hell yeah.
0 across.
I'm just there to be charming.
Well, so there's an elephant somewhere in that
Oh, yeah.
plan.
Yeah,
My
there
poor
is.
We have,
elephant
we have to
friend.
set the elephant free.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying something about a guest list. That was from their working on the thing?
They got access to a guest list.
Hell yeah, we did.
have knowledge of how security is going to be set up. They know the event flow. Now here's a tough question. Do you remember your objectives?
Okay.
Yes.
So.
We need to.
Find a Duke.
There's the dude.
No.
We knew he was somewhere.
Fuck, we didn't remember. I thought the Duke had the wife.
I don't think he's married. What?
No, but he has friends.
The Duke is Baron?
Right.
I thought his wife would be Baron.
Nice. He's not a general, he's a colonel, I'm pretty sure.
The Baron is the Duke's friend.
So yes. So
The Duke friend is Baron?
Okay.
Yes.
there are two targets.
A scouting party has gone missing who was escorting very important cargo. A list of all the carrion crows. If it makes its way to the Cardinal, all their families will be threatened, so people will leave the crows. The list is currently in the hands of a third party, and exchange will occur in front of a grand ball between that third party and the Inquisition's contact. The Baron is running the party. We need somebody to identify the Baron's agent.
Yeah, we need to find the Baron's people so that they can't give the list to the Cardinal's people.
So first target is intercept that list before it
And
moves
then we
to the
gotta kill
Inquisition.
someone for
I think we were gonna kill the Baron, weren't we? Yeah,
The Baron or the General?
No, the Baron.
Baron is your target.
Yeah.
The general came into picture only because of Genia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
Okay.
Have her sister.
they did
yeah.
creepy shit and had her sister.
Yeah.
General.
The General.
Yes. Okay, we went. Okay, here we go. We went to Estudiantes
That
Salazar.
shitty like 3D general
Yep.
he started
Oh,
doing for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
His
Okay,
tiny
here
little
it is.
go-kart.
Yep. She has a favor to ask of us to call who will be at the Baron's fete. The Baron Devane, I don't know, is a war criminal and a butcher. We should take his life, and Usha would consider it a personal favor.
So this is how him and the general knew each other because they were war buddies.
Right. I remember
Everyone.
this.
Oh,
This all sounds
I
familiar.
remember now.
So that's, yeah.
Remember when you remember. Look, guys, I put stickers on something.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Like, on purpose.
Yay.
And I still haven't had a panic attack about it.
You did it, yay.
But I mean, you have a cover over it, so that makes it less, I don't know.
Well, I'm just putting stickers on anything because I'm like, well, what if
Because of the sticker.
What if
Is
I want
this
to put
the
that
right
sticker on something
object?
else? Yeah. What if the sticker's not on the
What
right
if I
thing?
lose the thing the sticker's on now? I've lost
Yeah.
the sticker.
What if I get struck by lightning on this cat?
That's why these are in this binder or in this folder because I can't. I don't want to take them off to put them anywhere because I'm like, but what if I lose?
I kept, like,
one?
Before I stuck them on, I kept arranging them and like rearranging them and taking pictures and being like, man, what do you think? Is this okay? Maybe I should put this one here. What about this? Let's swap this one.
I have done that before, so.
And then
yeah.
after I got 3 okays on this configuration, I started pulling off the backings and Jess goes, no, you're doing it wrong!
Oh man.
Abort!
Yeah. No!
What's in a lunatini?
Huh?
What's in a lunatini?
It's a little cityscape.
Yeah, but what goes in a Luna
I don't know.
LA water?
LA water, I guess.
Like what's
It's more of a New York, I
tar
think.
pit.
yeah? What's a Luna Cosmo?
No, it's just pink.
It's got a Luna Cosmo.
They had a whole line of like drinks with cityscapes inside the glasses and cups and bottles and cans, and I just picked that one
Neat.
because it fit in that space.
Cool. So, because you're upstairs with your sister,
Yes,
who's not really your sister.
she is my sister.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
don't say
really
that
is.
where she is.
Yes.
This is my sister.
She
Alright.
she is sleeping very soundly, but shows no signs
Speaking of Jess,
of waking.
yes. Okay.
I mean, I'm tempted to go up there and ask about the kid. I'm like, I feel like we need to
Mm-hmm.
have the kid looked over by someone besides
Let me
Virginia.
take a look at it.
Yeah.
But like, if she doesn't want to do anything, then I guess there's nothing we can do about it. As for tomorrow night at the party, are we gonna try and intercept the paper and then get the Baron later,
So that's a pizza stone?
or do we just accept that we're gonna end up killing a bunch of things all at once?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I have one of those
Like,
actually.
the first thing we're doing is because we are
No, I
going
have
to
one.
social first,
But thank you.
meaning that we are
I
going to
have one.
social our way to finding out who the agent is.
Yeah, because
I
we don't
have
actually know
one.
who the agent is yet.
Right.
Already. Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
ID them.
Yeah, so we have to.
I would think the last resort is killing everyone there to make sure we got them all. That is last.
Yeah, you're right. We gotta make sure we have our targets properly
Right.
identified. Okay.
Zhenya is upstairs with her sister, softly singing. Damn it, Manda!
Wow, that's a song.
Softly singing certain lullabies.
Yeah. Last time I saw your glasses that steamed up, you were cooking pasta.
Wow.
Yeah, his actual physical steam.
I couldn't see.
Yeah, that was the worst.
It was very hot.
Uh-huh.
So when does the party actually start tomorrow?
It's in the evening. 7 is the official start.
I
You know
I
that
nailed all the.
a lot of the nobility will probably not show until 8.
Yeah, it's a party. You don't
because-
want to be the first person
That's
there.
yeah.
No matter what the start time is, you wait at least an hour.
But this agent we're looking for may not be a noble, right?
You don't know.
We have no idea. Oh shit, we're the agent. Oh no.
no.
Cool.
It was us all along.
Well, we don't gotta kill the agent, so that's handy.
You look at yourself and you're all wearing red cloaks. What now? Damn it!
True,
Wait,
actually,
are
because
we-
we all have records.
Yeah, we do. We have ways to
Are we
impersonate.
going as nobles and do we have names? You gave us names, didn't you?
Well, you guys have.
I think
Yeah, we have-
all the
we have-
ladies are
Oh,
going
I
as
gave you
pretty
guys
people,
names.
except
Oh, yeah,
Because
that's-
Salvador gave
Somebody
us.
gave us
We have names off the list.
Tony.
We have names on the list.
Yeah.
Names.
Tony and I are the help.
Patricia O'Reilly.
Yeah, I'm Kiki.
Kiki Maria Josefina Sabrina de la Vega.
You can call me Kiki though.
And you're Margarita Benedetta Angelica Propetera.
Wait, what? Margareta? Margareta?
Margarita Benedetta. There you go. You're the bottom one. Because we're all generic racist names.
That's
again.
If Virginia comes.
And we have
These are all people's first characters for Seven Seas.
Yeah.
we
Yes.
actually have paper invitations because Salvador gave it
That's
to
right,
us.
yeah.
You called me Natasha?
I think it's Natasha Baryshnikov, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Borshdikov.
There we go, yeah.
Borscht to go. Yeah,
yeah.
perfect.
Borshdikov.
Soviet met
Technically, it
Russian.
would be. Technically speaking, it would be Borshdikova.
Soviet
Yes.
Russian
Lady.
pants. Yeah.
Russian fans, yeah.
There's no
Because
making
Russian
there.
is like that.
Yeah, Borshdikova.
All right, we'll fix it. So when we all get up that morning, if no one's properly left yet, I look around and I'm like, okay, and I go upstairs to her room that she never actually uses,
Nope.
and I
This
give
is the
a
most time I've ever
You
spent this
hear,
room.
you hear.
Yeah, you're
Humming.
usually outside.
I give a curt 1, 2, 3.
You don't get an answer. The humming continues.
Why are you
I
disturbed?
give a beat and I go, if you want any help, maybe waking her up, let us know. I wait another beat and then I walk back downstairs.
Did I tell everybody about what I saw with the tied off strands and stuff?
I think so, but I don't know if she cares.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, I don't. I mean everyone else.
Zhenya hasn't heard it, and I don't know if you had a chance to share.
Also,
'cause
not
you
sure
went
if
straight-
Jenny would understand
Right.
what that means.
Yeah.
I know strange means that she has her memories are not there. She's forgotten her connections to people.
Yeah, well, she's having the best time of her life right now, so she's fine.
Well, I still think, I mean, assuming that we're not gonna be doing anything much today, I'm gonna go check out on my business and see what's up there.
Having troubles.
Was that you?
Yeah.
I thought it was my
Yeah.
Fucking dog!
I could blame the dog for a while, but now it's gone.
You just left it new.
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
Yeah, Marilena, you went to your business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Marilena's out.
Yeah.
I assume Jimenez at their usual post.
Yeah.
In the kitchen. Breakfast has been laid out.
I go to work. I go put in a few more hours at the estate, just to keep up face, and continue the reputation as a valued team member, and ABR, always be recruiting.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I have to tell the elephant that Jenny doesn't care about him anymore
Aww.
because he's got his sister back. But you're an elephant, so you don't care, so it's okay.
It's cool.
And
So close to being an elephant.
Yep,
It's close.
so close.
It's so close.
it's like it'd have been dope to have you in her shapeshift forms, but hey, that's how shit happens. Good talk. Conversational skills. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, with that, is it the trunk? Another one. Like, big mood, Dumbo, big mood. Jumbo Jr.
Big
All
mood,
right.
Eli.
Just an ear flap.
Yeah.
No fart. I assume elephants fart.
Oh hell yeah.
I mean, I think anything that has a butthole farts.
Well, yes, but I mean, I think they fart often. as a form of
Just
communication.
a lot of green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. At a pretty respectable volume.
I have a
As you
plant called elephant food.
Huh.
Neat. That's actually the common name for it, because elephants do, in fact, eat it.
That's cool.
Fun fact. Keep tuning into these games, guys, for more plant and butthole facts.
Yeah, we
Our
put those
specialties.
together.
We know plants and
Oh man, when
buttholes.
we were at
And
Animal Kingdom,
dicks.
We're segmenting.
they had these adorable like potted plants that you could buy at Animal Kingdom, and I was like, man,
How do you get that shit home?
right? Like, oh, that'd be cool. But what do you do with it unless you live in Florida or somewhere where you can drive it home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I laughing in the background? That's
You know.
weird.
Hey,
I won't judge, but
Yeah.
it is
you
kind
have
of
your
weird.
fun however you can.
I think. Yeah, I would keep my eye out for if there are any. if- new people showing up, because if it's happening tomorrow, you're gonna need their people will start showing up.
Yep.
Much beforehand to get the party started. So, I'm like,
Oh, I know what I need to do now.
You actually recognize some of the folks that were part of the Inquisitional staff. Are sort of coming around. If you look and try to see a little bit, you recognize who you think might be the sword captain himself. Moritelli is out here. The detachment of Prophet's Cloak, they're sort of looking at the venue, checking out, security checkpoints, and seem to be sort of asking questions to one of the guys that is supposed to be working security for the event. So they're doing some final checks here on that front. And just because of a statement you made a little bit earlier, you've been rolling panache primarily, right?
oh yeah.
So go for a panache and which one have we been using for your socialing? use perform?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you were using?
Oh yeah.
So give me the same roll.
All right. Reroll 15. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, ew, ooh, that's a lot of zeros. That's a lot of twos. Okay. No, it's not as good as I like. All right.
Pretty much never is.
So 7, 15, and 64. Okay. So we reroll 2, and then no 10. So we reroll those, and then so that's a 15. And we'll hang on to those, and then let's see here. Oh, oh, that's lower. All right. 2, 4, so 5. 5 raises.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would be very concerned about them plugging holes.
Right.
You, I want to keep all holes open.
That's right. As
But
Rithel would.
to absolutely have them think there's no holes.
Yeah.
Or that the holes are negligible.
Negligible holes.
Negligible
Stay
holes.
back in the holes.
That's right. That would keep it open.
Negligible.
Yes. The holes are all open.
Yes.
all of
Perceived as negligible,
They're
but,
negligible but open.
but very generous orifices in actuality.
Oh, you made the mistake of thinking you could drink right now.
Yeah.
I did. It's my own fault.
No, you're actually pretty happy with how the conversation is going because there seems to be a sense of satisfaction. You don't get the entire conversation, but you can carry the gist, and there's not a. They ask a lot of questions, and you feel the security rep has basically all the right answers to those. You do hear with 5 raises a couple extra. We're gonna post some of our own men here, so you make an immediate mental note of where the Prophet's Sword people are gonna be. It doesn't really disrupt the pattern you've started to build, so you feel you're in good pace with that because you guys have been working at this pretty diligently. And you got 5 raises out of this one. You know from the staff who might be likely to turn if you pushed the right way.
That's what I like.
So you have an inkling. You have about like not a ton from the staff, but you're like these 5. If I approached and push them just the right way, they could work with us, like they would turn.
Excellent.
Evine Rithel showed up to work. Were you planning to roll up to work as well, since you guys have been sort of working on the casing?
We also absolutely have recommendations if anyone shows up sick, or if anyone calls out sick for the evening.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure we have friends at the restaurant as well as from our mistress who would serve in those roles efficiently.
Because this is a pretty massive party, you have a list of about 10 folks that you could potentially pull away from the active staff
Absolutely.
and replace with people of your own. Like at this point, you guys. So just for full disclosure,
I didn't realize that was
I
even.
think it's Dan.
Evine, I'm gonna have you roll your perception roll since that's what you've been using. But before Evine's roll, over the week, you guys have accumulated 34 raises working on casing the place.
Yeah.
And that includes Genia's as well, that you've sort of all pooled that information together. So you have a pretty solid understanding of how this stuff goes. So at this point, because you've been using panache, Rethel, people trust your advice. So when you say like, yeah, this one, I'm not so sure about them, but I know people that we could pull in.
Oh yeah, no, that happens left and right. And people I've made friends with on the job, I'm be like, you know, if there's any sense of, oh, I don't feel good, or oh, I really don't want to, and I'd be like, don't. It's fine. I got a friend who can come in, cover for you.
We just got
Top people.
That's right.
You've been here the whole weekend.
men.
Top men, Lois. You know, take it off.
Yeah.
You're good. You worked the whole week. You don't need to be here for the big. It's just gonna be boring.
Yes.
You get your paycheck, and I got someone who can fill in and do the last step for you. It's fine. And so yeah, I'm just the actual night of the party. It's gonna be a ton of people that no one knows who it is.
I got a guy.
what age?
And then yeah, I think between me and Evine, we definitely would even provide that info to whatever person would get to come in. Be like, you're replacing this person. They're your cousin. They're your friend, so that everyone has, so that they're covered too.
10.
Shit, son.
44. So you broke 40 raises casing this place. So, as the two of you have your little information share out, you're pretty clear, like just re-looking through the event flow, through the guest list, you're like, there's a shit ton of people on there. If we start following people who have connections either to the Inquisitor or to the Baron, we're going to drive ourselves crazy. We might not have enough manpower for it. But because at this point you're part of the event staff, right? Like you basically are privy to everything. There's 2 rooms that you think is the most likely for this exchange to happen. So really what you need to monitor is traffic coming in or out of these rooms. They're not part of the event flow proper. They're sort of enough out of the way that if a conversation was happening in there, it would be away from, you know, prying eyes and ears. But they're still in a location where if people go to them, it's not going to be a weird, super suspicious, like, let's take a long walk aside from the party.
I want to say we even found a nice sturdy tree that she could
Oh,
post
absolutely.
in that watches both.
Yep.
And then I think we even found a nice, quiet, like dumpster bench for you and me to post up at, like we're drinking. That is equidistant to either. So yeah,
Even
we've
with your
got that
10,
set up.
These 2
To be like,
rooms-
is Mitch in there though?
It's it.
No,
There's
he's
some
no.
dumb bitch
This is
over
it.
there.
You don't know
Yeah.
which one because
We put in enough
strategically
raises. There you go.
either of them could
Yeah.
work, and you're not even sure, like both of them. You're sort of thinking about it from if you were planning this off.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe I would pick one of them as the main one, and the other one is a, you know, if a group is sort of, you know, gathered in front of this other room, you go to the second one as your alternate plan, right?
Yeah.
Like, so both of them might be planned, part of their planning regardless. But you're fairly confident, like you would stake your reputation on it. If you monitor these 2 rooms and check to see who comes in and out of those, you'll have an idea of who your person is.
Yeah.
As a bonus, because you rolled a 10, if you or somebody else was to walk in during this exchange, you're pretty confident you can murder someone in there without the rest of the party being super aware.
Yeah.
The rooms are arranged in such a way that a little bit of rumbling in there would, you know, probably attract attention from people around, but could potentially be pretty controlled. If you have some people
like
outside.
that part in Clue.
Yep.
Where you all just like having
Yep.
a real good time with the dead body.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, see, with
So,
small people just having a good time.
After observing that and sort of taking into account everything else that you've gathered over the week, you're like, this is it. It will happen here.
Mm.
There's no two ways about it. If it's not, they're complete amateurs, and you spend too much time working this case to admit to that right now. So you're like, this is out of the question.
Yes.
If I spend an entire week prepping and these guys are not up to snuff, fuck this. Yes, and Rethel is working on the human resources department meanwhile. Sort of being like, yeah, these people might, be good to turn for us. Right? So we might get some turncoats. And he's pulled out about 10 names that will be replaced by random allies, either coming from Usha's people or maybe some of the crows.
Oh, besides like altering our outfits, can I give something to Oscar and Emil to wear so that I can bring them as our present for our
Absolutely.
bedrooms?
Absolutely. They actually show up at the shop. They're posted in front. In fact, it's a little intimidating because you get two Ison mercenaries in full, doppel mercenary gear, meaning that they got like the armored arm and the big, like, sort of velvet hat with the big plume on it. And they both have like gigantic swords, right? And it's just like about as tall as them.
I mean, we're not really open for business in any of
No, but they're
capacity
posted
yet.
in front of your shop.
Which is
and-
why I'm okay with that, but once we are, I'm just like, that's a little bit too much
Well,
for the
they're-
front door. Of course.
You're gonna have to dress you boys up.
Aw, yeah.
Oscar is sort of, standing more attention. Emil is a little bit more loose. He's actually smoking a pipe. But the weapons are displayed and nobody's getting into that shop without your permission. So that's a good thing you're not open for business.
Yes.
They actually step forward and do basically like a stand at the ready when they see you. You see Emil immediately put out his pipe, and they take off their hats. They're basically ready and waiting, ma'am.
Well, for your first task, come in. You
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
get fitted. Shut the door.
Oh,
dear.
well, that's. You see, Oscar sort of like ducks and gets in. Emil sort of struggles a little bit to figure out how to get the sword inside the shop because he's not leaving that outside. He struggles a little bit, but then they manage to get in.
Oh, now we get to try on
Oh,
clothes
right,
montage.
giant
Yes.
swords. My bad.
Yep.
Does this particular building have a closet for that?
Not really. At least
Can
not
I
right now.
designate one to be just where the weapons go, so you don't have to just leave it out there?
Yes. There's a little reluctance to separate from them, but they have other weapons.
Yeah, they do.
So, yep, that's right.
Wow. Is it a closet door with a lock?
It's not a. So it's a space.
It's a space.
The inside of the shop is.
Oh, it needs a lot of work still.
Yes, it's a building, and the building is sturdy.
Oh my gosh.
It
Okay,
is
so
in
I
fact a
need to
building.
Yeah, there's
find a carpenter.
there's a solid hearth, and you can sort of understand a little bit how it was laid out before, but the furniture is very sparse and mismatched. There's some straw in spots on the floor, so you're like, were they keeping animals in there? Who knows?
Well, I'm sure that's cleaned out by now, because I've
Yeah.
met the people there.
It's not dirty. It's just there's no real furnishing to speak of, and there's no like, there's multiple door basically like
Door frames, but
yeah,
no
there's
doors
like
in
door
them.
homes with no
Uh-huh.
doors.
Okay, carpenter
and
and a
then-
locksmith. What else do I need?
I think I know Jose can help you with that. He's what does cookies? Cookies
Did I?
Deanna made them.
Oh.
You want one?
I
They're
don't know if
actually
you
really
want to
pretty
trust
good.
them.
A couple days old now.
What? There's a cookie?
Deanna made chocolate chip cookies. They're over there. They're a couple days old now. They were really good when she made them. Just bring a plate.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
bring the plate over.
So yes, so you can make a list
Okay.
of the work that needs to be done in there. But you find a spot out of the way where they can lay
Hey,
down the swords.
you know, I might know some people who aren't working tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, I'll
Who
I
have
tell
jobs
them.
tomorrow, so
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I tell them I apologize for this right now, but I will
They might be
have
friends now.
a closet put aside for you. Once we have a door and a lock on it, you will have the key, and only you will be able to take those
Oh god.
weapons out. I understand that
Humanity.
these are important to you.
You handle the business, ma'am. You follow instructions.
I know, but I want you to understand that I respect you, not just pay you.
Appreciated. Now, what was this about a fitting?
Ah, yes. Okay. I guess by now I know like what colors I'm wearing, so I'm gonna. Do I have to roll a thing to do this, or do I
Sure.
just? Oh, okay.
Roll me scholarship.
No, they're still good.
Oh, no problem. I said they just
Wits,
became friends.
panache, resolve. No, panache. Wits, I don't know. They're the same.
Make me an offer.
I'm probably gonna say. Wait, no. I have an argument for both. They're the same role,
Well, if it's the same roll, then it doesn't matter.
but I will still give you my arguments. So for wits, I want to give them something to wear that gives the impression that I am a person with resources.
Okay.
But you know, like not too showy.
Strong merchant class.
Yes. Oh yeah. For panache, it's basically like similar, I guess. I'm wanting to. I want to impress
You wanna
without
make
it
an
seeming I'm
impression.
trying too hard.
Go with panache.
Okay.
Tony, in case you missed that piece of it, Evine was basically ascertaining those two rooms is where this exchange is going to happen. Also, if you were to say commit murder, this would not be a bad place to do it.
Quiet out of the way.
Quiet out of the way, and people. There's probably going to be a flow of like house help going into that room, but from what you know of the event, it will give you time to commit the deed and then get out of there before there's a notice and commotion happening. If you plan this right, you can get in and out before.
I wonder if I
Oh,
could
I
even
never got a cookie.
want to have.
There's two. I was like 2.5.
I only really wanted a half, but I was ready to commit to a full. So.
Nice.
Here, I'll also
Anna, we
share.
need more cookies.
I'll also share this disappointing amount of 2 Milanos left.
Oh, I want to finish them.
You heard me.
What?
I said, Anna, we need more cookies.
And I just stared at her. I don't know what she's thinking.
You don't want to make more cookies?
I can make
You
scones.
want my body to project and be angry while I'm making them and possibly poison y'all?
I don't think there's anything wrong with you, but okay.
Thank you for being.
Conscientious?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just a bit lazy.
I'm wondering if there's even a possibility if we
I'm not just DoorDash cookies.
if we commit murder,
Uh-huh.
if we can even get one of our people to find it and just ignore it for a while.
I mean, also, if at any time we needed diversion, I could just set something on fire.
Oh, absolutely.
Clandestinely.
Absolutely.
Dios mío.
Yeah.
It's on fire.
Fire,
It's
fire.
amazing how quick that drape went up with just the one candle.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I make that for you. I make you your cigar.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking maybe part of a dress accent of some sort, where it's
I
just
have like several sashes, so
yeah,
what bit of one of my sashes?
like maybe part of the knot that because you can put an affectation in it of some sort, and it's actually embers in the pipe, so that you can just draw straight from it.
All right. With 4, you wish you had more fabrics to work
And
with,
it comes true.
but you have the touch, so it doesn't matter so much. Like, it takes you a little bit longer, but you make
That's my
matching
day.
outfits that give very strong sense of respectability without being too showy, but that still commands attention. You won't go completely unnoticed, that is for sure.
Alright.
You're fancy without being ostentatious.
Yeah, swine won't notice that badass embroidery.
That's right. Get some good side cloaks action going on.
I mean, honestly, I have the measurements now. I can totally turn out other outfits once I have more resources.
Yep.
They're gonna have their summer uniforms,
Heck yeah.
winter uniforms.
But wait, do I have any equipment in here at this point, or have we not?
Yeah.
moved it?
There's equipment moved in. Like, the shop is actually functional. It's just not been, like most everything is sort of like makeshift on tables right now. Like, they haven't like set up the shop in the proper fashion.
Boy, I need to be real friendly with people who work wood. Is there any way, like, do my people that are locals up here, assuming they are there locals here that work for me?
The 3 ladies seem to have been local, yes.
Okay, so I'm asking about specifically carpenters, because we need both. Like, we need shelves to display things, better tables. Because, I mean, appearance is everything with this stuff. I can't have, like, bad looking furniture. Or, like, old furniture.
The eldest basically is like, well,
So
we can make some recommendations, but it will take a little bit of time. A lot of the carpenters are working at the estate right now because this party's sort of the talk of the town.
That's fair.
There's a handful that aren't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more looking for, I mean, this is going to be a long-term relationship.
I mean, we can ask around if you'd like us to.
I would appreciate that. I think that's the first. What about, fabrics? Do we know anybody? Have you gotten any in?
Yeah, you have some ins from the time you were working
Okay.
with.
I feel like
With
maybe,
Juanita.
from, the carpenter's more like a one-time thing. For the fabrics, I feel like I probably would spend at least an hour every day going to the market to find
Right.
specific types to, like, try to talk up the fabric.
Roll me resolve.
Just resolve?
Just resolve.
We made the cigar things we've been talking about for
Nice.
Jimena.
Damn it! Are you rolled a 1 and got another 1?
No.
Yeah, those are the worst.
That's sad. Oh, that's 12. Okay, that's 3.
3. You're thinking about your plans and you're jotting down some notes, and then you're like, you know who would have been really good at supplying me with fabric? My husband. Because that was his trade.
Yes,
And then for a moment you are overwhelmed by a life sort of goes on here and I don't even know what happened to him moment, which makes you pause for a sad moment where
I
you're
have a
staring
sad-
into space.
But because I remembered that I have watched him work, I kind of know something about this.
That's right.
Just from that and being very into it, basically. But yeah, I think that could be. So my point is like, yeah, I want to have like a regular contacts who get me fabrics, but I also want to specifically look with my own eyes to find like specialized things. And I think that I will just do that at every day that I am working.
Very good. So you busy yourself with that. Did the two of you go back to the house? Are you still...
Actually, I was curious. Are you taking your new guardsman to the party?
Yep.
Cool. Let's go ahead and add Jose Espada into the mix. I believe he's the. Isn't he the Ison that we
Check the wiki.
didn't
He's
kill?
Vadache,
Okay,
but
okay, he's the Vodachine.
he
It says right there,
he
Vadache.
used to be
There's
he
a,
used to be muscle as well
right. Okay.
for that lady that
You tell me that before I leave, because if you don't, then
we'll
Oh yeah, he needs an outfit.
we'll
Yeah.
pretend that
Well, he's
conversations
also-
happened.
He's also Vodachine, so like he has an outfit.
You know that dude does.
I mean he does, but this
You
is
want that.
about
It won't
presentation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Well, I think
Unless
He
you
should
send
be-
him with me.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because you've got you've got your two boys to frame you,
Yep.
and so she needs someone to hold her purse as well.
She can already fight. She just needs one. I need
Yeah.
two. Well, I mean, I can fight too, but no one knows that.
And I was tempted to send my personal Jose, but I'm like,
Yes.
no, he might get recognized because he's very recently
He's
ex.
very eager
Um,
and very disappointed when you're like,
oh no, he's coming along for the party. That part. Oh heck yeah, we want that extra sword. But as far as being a face,
Right.
no. Jose Espada's. I like his. He's not immediately connected to any of this.
Right.
So
I
like putting him as your wingman.
Rethold, because your collective efforts have broken the 40 successes, you've managed to dig into the estate's history, and you heard that during some of San Felipe's sieges, when the port was taken over, there is a way to get in and out
Fuck yeah.
of the house through a supply tunnel that basically leads to just like the city outskirt, or the old city outskirt. It's still city now because the city has sort of spread from the time these things were built, but there basically is an underground tunnel, and
Yes.
you know there will be a guard posted. Fortunately, one of those who are set to watch the door is on your list of people that you could potentially rally to your cause. So if all else fails, even if the estate is locked down, you're pretty confident you can make an exit through that spot.
Then that's what my Jose is going to do. Is he's going to dress up as part of the work as well. as part of the help, and then he's gonna make trips out there to make friends with both of them, so that way he's there to help clear one of them if he has to, if we need to get out of there quick.
That's right.
So basically, like, yeah, this is down from the party here. Hey,
Right.
the foreman wants to make sure everyone's, sharp and not grumbling. So here's another sandwich and
Right.
and some wine. Yeah.
That guy that you're really buddy with actually took you part of the way once, and it really struck your fancy because there's this part of it. You just run, like make a couple of turns, and then when you get to this point, like there's this like almost like gate where there's like a grate, and you have to take a little boat, basically like to go further because it feeds into the canal that goes like into the sea. So you're as you're thinking of escape route, it's like, oh yeah, we can drop the gate here, like escape by boat, and
Yeah, because we would definitely scout the reverse.
Yep.
At some point.
Yep.
If we haven't already, to check those multiple egress points.
That's right. So you're looking at that, and you're like, part of you, the songs of your people sort of come to you, and you're like, this looks really badass.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like, oh, the raids we could run from this point. Oh, wait, no, we're doing this in reverse. Okay, that still works.
Right. So yeah, so you're building a considerable knowledge as to how this plan is going to go. You just need to figure out the particulars of who will do what. Zhenya, your sister is completely sound asleep. It's been a long time. She should have woken up by now.
Augustina is the housekeeper?
Yes.
Yeah. So after many, I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
She goes down and finds Augustina and asks her if she would keep an eye on the door. And if anything happens, she fishes around and gives her basically a vial of her own blood and says, pour this on the tree outside. I'll know.
Probably not.
Sure. And she wipes her hands on her apron and like very delicately takes the vial from you and puts it in her apron pocket.
And gives like a really where's that fucking asshole? I know he's back.
He
steering clear.
He seems to be staying out of your way. He's by the gatehouse outside.
Yeah.
Augustine actually steps up, and you see her like bring her fucking like kitchen knife with her as she steps upstairs.
Yeah. No, I trust this woman. Yes, I do.
You have to. She cooks our food.
Yeah.
Sure enough, does
And
a very
then-
good job.
I assume all these rooms are upstairs. So
Yes.
Zhenya hops into a window and just fucking drops and then flutters out. And she's gotta go find that old crone again.
Okay. You
Gotta wander.
Yeah, you fly over the city and you're like, I'm sure it's here. No, I've not flown in this spot before, and for whatever reason, your brain keeps pulling you to one specific direction, even though you're like, that's not it. I know it's not that way, right? But you
gotta go.
follow the direction, and the way seems very unfamiliar. You're like, I don't think I've passed through here. But then after you round one corner, there it is. The familiar shop, like right in the corner. You see some, you assume is like steam or smoke coming out of one of the windows. You're not quite sure it's where you've seen it last, but
That's not
It's
how
there.
That's how it works.
it's there.
It pops
It's
up when it
absolutely
needs to
there,
be.
and it's ready for you. The door's open. There's nobody around.
Flutter in and hop onto the table and squawk at her.
She's hunched over. You're not quite sure whether it's like cooking or an art project or
I
you
think
know
those are the same thing.
she's doing something like
I mean, it's Russian cooking.
something
It's
is
an art.
cooking, but she has like this stretched out like cotton sheet, and periodically she's reading from this like big book, and then she dips like her hand in the stew, and she almost has to push her fingers in, right? Like this thing is like
That's
super
thick.
thick, and it comes out like this.
Sissies.
Comes out like this eggplant purple, and then she just like traces like a big long line with a curve at the bottom, like on the sheet. And then she looks at it for like a long time, and just, goes back to reading the book. And after you squawk, she basically
Little
says,
crow hops.
she continues to do like this thing, and then says, I wish you had hands right now, because I could use a set of hands.
Little bird. And then Zhenya. How can I help you, grandmother?
Here, help me with this. And then she shows you the book, and it looks like just ungodly old, right? Like the markings that you see, and there's like a really complex pattern of like lines and curves, and she's sort of reproducing it on this sheet.
I'm glad there's pictures.
Yeah, because fuck knows what that language is. You recognize some words. They look old.
I'm not normally literate, so
Right. That's true. You can't read them anyways.
yeah.
Um,
Those look like our letters.
so basically she's like, you take this side, right? And then she sort of shows you, this thing smells awful. Like awful. But
Okay.
she starts to work, and for a little bit you both work like in sort of silence, until she traces one of the lines and just asks point blank, I'm very thankful that you came to help me, but do you have something to ask me?
Yes, grandmother. I have many things to ask you, as always.
Well, good. While we work, you can do two things, right?
Possible. Grandmother, I have found my sister,
That's good news.
but she sleeps. I
That's-
cannot wake her.
She sort of pauses for a while, and like she raises that finger. That finger stings to all heavens. Like at this point, it's just like dark purple, right? And she has it like uncomfortably close to her face, right? Just,
my eyes.
right? It's like you're like, oh, I was not like you can feel your skin peeling off.
I've seen some shit on the battlefield. I'm not feeling this.
And she looks like she's feeling for something, and she says, she's here, but she's far away.
Yes, I think so. They have a witch. They put a spell on her. She thought those people were her parents.
She
Spit.
Yeah, no, she spits something, it is a hair-raising curse,
Yeah.
right?
I had to drag her away from a monster.
That's what you do.
Yes.
You came all this way.
And I will do it. I just don't know how. This is not like stopping someone on a battlefield. It's not dressing a wound.
No,
It's not cooking a stew on the camp.
you'll need someone who knows that business. And I'm not talking about the demon people. Who knows? I wouldn't rely on that. Their people are old. As old as the grandmother.
Sorry. People are all.
Right?
I know better. I'm not gonna say anything.
They've been playing this game for centuries. It's hard to bargain with them, and if you bargain, you'll lose something. Best to avoid the game, yes? I feel her soul is trapped, so you need to speak to people who are knowledgeable in those matters. People who know death. I think it's not a coincidence you came to me as a bird today. You have other bird friends, yes?
Sorry.
Talk to them. They know someone who can help you.
Stop pooping on things and just talk it out.
I haven't pooped on anyone in a while. And that was on purpose.
Yeah, yesterday.
I have more preference.
Yes. Think about this. And she sort of works for a little while and watches you mull it over.
Oh god.
And then after a little while, she's like, "You're not the only one." Flies under the auspice of the crow.
Oh.
Yes!
Ugly purple paint everywhere.
And she sort of pinches your cheek, and oh, there's a piece of purple right on your cheek, right?
No,
She's like,
emanating the smell.
she's like, look at you, so smart. And just like pinches your cheek.
Now you're
Goes
marked
back to
forever.
the business. Your part is done.
It was like, I don't know any birds.
You are one. You're a part of a family of them.
I don't know what's happening. Poor Jenny. I'm not good at these riddles.
People get little.
No.
No, just me.
She actually goes back and she says, no, you're not. But
I tried
it's
so
okay. It's an old hat.
hard. Okay.
When you get a certain age, you entertain yourself.
The man with
whatever
the strange eye. He knows.
It rolls across the table,
Right
into the stew, into the pot.
Yeah, she just fishes it out. What is this?
How does this get here? He's everywhere. He's in the rafters. I know.
And yet the Frenchman weirds you out.
This man was doing like party tricks for the
Pretty
kids.
sure that
In Jenya's
Frenchman
mind,
are mad.
he's the most powerful
He is a
wizard
god.
in all of Thea. There's been never any more powerful practitioner of magic.
We still don't know how to feel about the fact that you stole this poor man's eye.
He put it in my jacket.
And you keep telling us these outlandish lies.
Honestly, I don't even remember
No,
it.
take.
Oh, sure.
It just shows. No, it's nowhere. It will come.
He'll come back for it.
Mark my words.
I hear him stings.
We'll buy him a new one. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I carved a new one from wood.
No, that's
At night he skitters along the walls.
Like a lizard. Just. It knows how to find the cracks. I know it.
He also flicks his tongue in and out. It's disturbing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's very sticky. I know. Okay, I'm sorry. Shenya spins ridiculous tales.
This one
This lizard
Yeah.
wandering eyed Sebastian.
That's right. This man.
Wandering eyes.
You think you see one of his arms just like doing a wave, like closer.
By itself.
Grandmother, look! It's just one arm!
She looks and it's gone.
Right.
No one sees it but Junior.
He did the fucking like thumb thing, and he was.
He took it off!
He takes his body apart.
It didn't even bleed! Who takes his pieces apart and doesn't
He
bleed?
had my nose for 2 hours.
I know it!
He showed it to me,
You had it in a box!
and then he stole a kid's nose. And I got really scared, and I remember he only has 2 hands, so he can only take 2 at a time.
Just that's it. Everyone else is safe. If he has mine, and his, you are all safe.
I was willing to sacrifice my nose to stop that rampage.
And then he went under the dirt. Behind that rock. I don't know how.
Right.
I checked the dirt.
Dirt told me nothing.
I did.
You're trying to kill
It said there is no man here.
He stepped behind the couch, and then he buried into the ground like he was lowered by a rope.
I saw. But when I asked the earth said there was no man.
There was no hole. Where did he go?
Grandmother, I've never known anyone so strange. He was a magical man.
Ugh.
Okay, we're done.
Are you sure?
I don't think so, but we're done.
I had to create an injury for this guy, by the way,
Yes.
because now
Well,
that became a thing.
his lore is growing.
I want it to be. I want his entry to be similar to Magic
like-
Man.
A backwards bard.
Right?
It just tells stories.
Just a list of his miracles.
Yeah. Of his new accolade. I don't
Right.
even know it.
He handed me a handkerchief, and another one came out, and another one. It's like a rope. So many
I
handkerchiefs.
did not see him tie them. They just came from his hand.
Oh my god.
So
And each one was a new color.
It's like
Where does he get these
the
dice?
lady that transforms into a bear and can regen her wounds is just like, holy shit, these handkerchiefs. It just blows her mind.
Push bullets out of her arm. Close it back up. Okay, that's fine. He's a witch. And not like her.
Oh, never mind.
No, he does real magic.
Oh, it's
It's alright. No one's
My
supposed to know I
braids
can
are
do
so tight.
anything.
Yeah.
That's how we work.
Anyway.
Your braids are tight.
Yes, it's pulling because I laugh. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on.
He-Man has been eating this entire time.
Oh yeah, no.
She's
It's,
preparing for the party.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
some
Training.
There's some bomb breakfast.
Yeah.
And nobody else ate it.
Yeah, like,
Everybody else just went
Everybody
to
else
do other
left.
shit.
I have to
Yeah,
take
I-
care
I-
of
Someone's
something.
got to
I
eat
grabbed a
it.
taco on my way
Yeah,
out.
I
was
always
like,
get like something to go.
She's got a little tiffin.
Yeah.
She fills up and takes with her.
we all get burritos on our way out. And eat them on the walk while Jimenez like Riker legs over the table and just like
burritos.
yeah.
Nice.
They don't have tortillas in
They're
Spain.
tortas or whatever. So yeah, it's whatever hand food you got.
Sand food. You
Oh,
mean
okay.
street food?
So Jania thanks
Yeah, but
grandmother
still like food you can eat with one hand.
and
Sorry.
my
No paella.
Yes. And she brings a bowl. You're not 100% sure she's not asking you to dip your hand in like a bowl just full of vinegar. It sort of is like and kind of feels like that. Like you feel your skin kind of burn a
I'm
little
not
bit.
surprised.
And then she hands you a towel.
The
You-
burn is how you know it's working.
That's right.
How I know it's
Mild
clean.
corrosive.
That's right. Tell my grandmother that with
That's
that
it.
fucking like
Because it degreases
pine
engines.
tree cough syrup that
Gotcha.
she was giving us.
Stuff is gross, and I've never even had it.
Fortin syrup. God damn it. It absolutely
Nyquil
tastes like
tasted
taking
like
a
pine
bite
needles.
out of a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
Gross.
And market that shit.
Yeah.
Snap a new Christmas tree. Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Sleep.
That too. As a child, I was like, is that what being drunk feels like?
Yeah,
It feels
when my
like it.
parents finally started stocking like actual medicine, it was that green NyQuil that my dad swore up and down, and straight up just pine needles.
Right.
It's the worst.
Just burns all the pain away.
Oh, that 90s NyQuil.
So yeah, she wipes your
The
hand
one
with
where
the
you have to
towel.
like sit and like psych yourself up to take a sip. And like you're standing there with the little cap just being
Oh,
like,
my parents had to hold me down and shove it in because I would
Okay.
not. I would
Okay.
not.
Yeah,
Ready?
well, I just
One, two.
Yeah.
It distracts you from how it distracts you from how shitty you
Right.
feel.
Doing a shot of moonshine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'd rather push
It
it.
helps, it doesn't help.
Snap your finger just
I
to
almost wish that
distract
they
yourself
didn't
from your
put
foot.
flavors because they're just fake ass flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are fake ass flavors.
That fucking banana flavored medicine.
Oh,
as a child.
Man, I didn't
For-
like
for
bananas.
a while, and I
I
2-3 years I did not eat any bananas because
I remember I
It's
got
just bananas.
Ugh.
one of my, when I was like, I want to say like 7, one of my like lymph nodes right here, in my jaw, like whichever one's right here, got like inflamed or something. So like, I had, like, and they made me take this medicine, and it was white.
Oh yeah.
It was like that milky
chalky.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, it was supposed to be. I'm pretty sure they were trying to make it cherry flavored, but
Oh.
it was just sort of vaguely like
Sicky sweet.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they gave you know this. It's like a spoon.
The spoon
But it has
sound.
the hollow.
Yeah.
like, you can see
Yeah.
see how much.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
I'm living.
and it was
Exactly
and
it.
it was me being like, no,
No.
no, and my
I'm
mom
back
being
there.
like, put the spoon in your mouth. Like,
Yeah.
no,
I'm
I'd
back there. I
rather
can
just
hear
have
it, Megan.
I'd rather-
like I'd rather just have a fucked up lymph node than take any more of this.
No, when I got pneumonia the first and third time.
Stop that.
I know. Well, my brother and I played tag for a minute. Like, I got it, he got it, I got it, he got it. And it was like, your turn!
Stop that.
So the first and third time that I got it, they gave me pineapple, and I was like, pineapple?
Oh no.
No, it was dial hand soap.
Yeah.
Ew.
Straight yellow dial hand soap.
It's never like just
The only
make it taste gross.
the only one I ever had, and they don't make it anymore, which made me sad, was the orange triaminic.
Yeah.
It was like it mostly just kind of tasted like the shitty high C that you used to be able to get at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like the not soda, the orange
Fuck
not
yeah.
soda.
I drank
Oh my
so
God.
much of that
The
when
taste
I
of
was-
my childhood.
Your childhood tastes disgusting.
But that's basically what it tastes like, which was like, it still wasn't great, but it was the best option.
Yeah.
It's like if I had a cough, I'd be like, no, give me the orange
No,
stuff.
my mom would be like, if you have a pill, please give me the pill. She will not take this liquid.
I remember. I think at some point there was the choice was
Yeah.
like, well, you can get a shot, you can
Right.
take the meds, and it's like I think at a certain
I would've
age you're
gone
like,
shot.
no, give me the meds. I don't want the shot. And then I've definitely converted since then where I'm like, just do it, just get over
Yeah.
with. Let's
Give me
do
a
it
shot.
again.
To stab
Fix me.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need the fucking future things where it's supposed to be.
It's the gut.
And
Well,
Yeah.
well, they kind of have those, but it's just a shot.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm all about it now. It's like I want to get better now. Feel me, cleric.
That's alright. Eventually we'll just have mana machines that just go for us.
No, see, I'm good on the pills.
I'm still paranoid about getting a shot. Because what if that nurse woke up in a bad way today and I'm gonna fucking get
Stabs you in the eye.
it? Not even just stabbing, like, she's gonna reuse a needle or like be like, today you're just getting hydrogen peroxide. And then I die. Like, I'm still like if you take things out, I'm like, alright, whatever, no problem, needles, not an issue at all. Go ahead, have it. But the moment they're putting something in, I flip out.
I'm gonna
I used to not
report
like
this
it,
to
and I had
Nurse
to get
Linus.
over it.
Well, I've given nurses black eyes. One of them gave me attitude, and I was like, no, fuck you, you're not touching me at all, absolutely not. And then it took 2 nurses, and my elbow went straight in her eye socket. And I still got the shot.
What if it was Linus?
You put up a fight though.
Yeah.
Linus is really salty. Like he might be like,
true.
today, Lisa.
He'd be like, look at this cup I'm gonna break. And I'd be like, ah!
It's true.
Yeah, he'd run up
You
on
recognize your weaknesses.
Yeah.
At that point, they just shoot you with tranks.
Yeah.
They put it in the fucking rifle, like they do with rhinos.
Oh,
Wow.
that'd be a way to do it.
As I barrel down the hall.
Don't touch me!
Breaking your tire.
Yeah, I had a few nurses who were just like, holy shit.
I'm now taking a small battery of allergy meds. And so
Yeah.
it's the smaller pills because it's just the allergy med, and then I take the pseudoephedrine separate, which is also a small pill. And I've learned now because there's so many of them, I've now learned to choke them down.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to do that, and I was just I'm like, oh,
We choke them down without water.
Oh, dry.
yeah,
Nope.
just going in dry.
I mean, I had.
Never.
I got used to swallowing multiple ones
No
at
prep.
once, but never.
Yes.
Not at
never
once.
multi-
Multi.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know,
Oh,
back in the day,
at once
on,
with something to drink.
with something to drink.
No.
I
See,
mean,
I
because
can't.
back in the day, Wednesday evenings, I had to take like I
Yeah.
think like 16.
The battery. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like you just have to get
you had
like,
to.
You're either gonna sit there for a half an hour,
Or-
or you learn to
Or-
do a few at a time.
I had a couple that were like giant horse pills, so I would take those.
Like one apiece, or
Like I could do 2 at once, but those had to be. And then like the other like, yeah, the other like 12.
the
I'd be like,
cup
all right,
kind.
here we go.
yeah,
Bottoms up.
yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
I was
Yeah.
fine
That's
until
what I was-
one got stuck in my throat one time.
Mm.
And it wasn't even that big.
Oh yeah, no,
and it
that'll
started
happen.
dissolving, and I was like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
I gotta work up.
don't
Yeah,
do
I gotta
this.
work up the saliva for it. If yeah, I don't know.
and
But
now
then
every
Friday
time I'm
on
like,
your way out, that's
sick myself.
Ah. Yeah.
because my back hurt. But yeah.
All right.
Thank you, grandmother, and I fuck off.
Yeah.
My hands are
She-
clean now.
You see a hand sort of
Yeah.
wave at you. She's still.
I go to find Rethel.
We're probably up at, or, you probably find me out about in the town because I sent Jose Espada to go to the house to meet up with Jimena, and so the two of you can coordinate outfits for tomorrow evening.
Hell yeah.
I find the Viking and I land on his shoulder.
Yes. You.
Without pooping on it.
Oh.
I do not poop on him.
You've been blessed by the Allfather.
Yeah,
fucking ram it on your shoulder.
Yeah, I probably see that, and then it alights, and I'm like,
You know this plan is gonna go without a hitch.
this is, I was just like, okay, and I just keep walking. I'm like this. And I pull out like I find like
She's bird brain enough right now. Like, okay, we're walking.
I find like a morsel, and I'm like, eh.
Jenny takes it and puts it in your ear.
Ah!
Ha ha ha. Okay. I eat it.
I was like, and then she crow laughs. She just that little crackle.
Fair. All right. I don't know what that means.
I love it.
It's like, I don't know what that means when that happens, but I figure if they poop on you, that's auspicious. So all right.
Right? I've seen it happen.
I head over to the blacksmith to check in on it, make sure it's
It's doing its thing.
just to make sure it's not been raided or anything.
No.
They're not all.
I'm basically checking all of the places I'm doing my rounds of the town to make sure that.
You're going about all of your places of business.
Well, yeah, just I gotta keep tabs on everything. I got a lot of interests now.
Yeah. You swing by her shop, or is down your? Are you primarily looking at yours?
No, she's I don't want to meddle unless asked.
Do you wear your carrying girl pin?
Huh? Oh no, not out loud.
Not out loud.
Yeah, no.
That's right.
You wear it on the inside.
Yeah, there's definitely like
Inside of a vest
a
or
fold and
whatever?
a notch
Yeah.
to be like,
Yeah.
the purple pimpernel situation. But yeah, no, I'm thrilled. It's good times.
Yeah. I just hang out for a minute because I'm like, oh, this is nice. Where
Yeah,
are we going?
yeah. You see, we go to the blacksmith.
I inspect
and
shit
it's
with you.
there,
I
it's
tilt my
open,
head.
and We
Yeah.
stop by.
So many things
We
to
walk
see.
into the rough town. We walk into that rough side of
I've
town
been
where
cooped
we
up for an entire day. I'm
where
suddenly
we-
like,
where we
yeah.
liberated the dog, and I just do a head tilt to make sure that no one's squatting in it and
a squawk.
that it's okay, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, cool. Some some reinforcement. Oh, good, it's great.
Typical hustle and bustle going around, but Jose Luis is accompanying you, very eager.
I explained to him that that the Odin or the raven's the sign of the Allfather's blessing, and that this is auspicious. This absolutely
And he's
reinforces that.
unfazed.
We
He's
are-
just like, why yes,
Of course, yeah. I'm like,
I knew this.
hey,
Yes.
no, and your unwavering faith is definitely good to have around. It's,
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. Yeah.
Zhenya hops to his shoulder.
Oh, he's yes. There's a moment of washed on.
Well, hey,
I knew I was right.
yeah, this is what we do. This is
And then hops to the other shoulder. And then shakes her tail feathers. And then hops back.
He's just like, we must stay the course.
absolutely. Hey, well, we were going to one way or the other, but this really seals the deal. It's good.
This is the shit,
Right.
guys. Oh, he's gonna be so disappointed. What if it's just me?
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, who knows? You're part of Rethold's crew.
Yeah.
And then yeah, eventually I get back around to the house
Jimenez in her workshop
out back.
out back.
She should.
Baby, not a kitty.
Aw,
Yeah,
I
I
am
hope
here.
you can pick this up.
I think it can actually.
I'm always sitting somewhere where I can't actually
She's
hear.
headed outside.
Alright, fuck you.
Well, we've got that angle anyway.
She came, she
She
announced
came
herself.
and announced her
She
presence.
meowed. She went.
She's settling
Fucked
in front
off.
of
Well, it's too
the
dark.
vacuum.
You get back to the house?
Oh, I check in my office across the
In
street
the
real quick.
meantime, there was a bit of an awkward exchange with Carmelo, Jose Espada, who just showed up at the house. Not exactly quite sure.
Oh, he was never told why he's
Well,
down
he was
there.
like, I guess I'm here to talk about clothes, maybe. That's what I've been told. And I feel
Because no one told Jimena what he was
right.
here for.
It's like I feel I was supposed to talk about it with you. Like he has his hat in his hand and he's just like,
So lost.
Okay.
I'm here.
I'm here now.
I'm glad that you're here. Because.
Good.
Come with me.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh, and
Drink this! He
Just
doesn't
like
know
clown
better.
hair.
I was about to say, when you come back, his hair is a very strange shade of. Like it's.
And we'll see what happens when I show up.
Nah. It's not quite. Well. Back to the drawing board, I guess. You like it? Mirror.
What?
I can fix it.
What?
Maybe.
Is that gonna come back or
I mean, it's hair. Your natural hair will grow back. Most likely.
but like now?
Just squints. Give me 1 second. No.
So you
No,
arrive at the
I-
house. Nobody's actually in at the bottom floor. Xavier was at the gatehouse outside. Augustina doesn't seem to be anywhere. You hear some tinkering out back in Jimena's workshop.
Yeah.
My laboratory.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm like, usually there's at least Augustina, but Xavier's over there. So I guess that's okay.
Yeah. He's staying away from the house.
I'm like, Jose, take a lap upstairs and see if you hear the humming, you know. And I'm gonna go talk to Jimena out back.
At once.
All right, let me know
Just
when you're done out
upstairs.
there. All right. And I stroll outside, out back, give a nod down to Xavier, and
Cross walks.
and I'm like, huh. And I come over to the workshop. I'm like, hello.
Hola.
As I do.
Oh, hello, sir.
Oh, good, you showed up.
His hair
Oh my.
looks a little dubious.
It's, it's a
He looks
color.
he looks very uncertain,
I
and he's
s-
not quite sure how to tell you
I see you've
how
been
uncertain he feels.
I see you've been hard at work.
Well, he came. He said he was here to talk about colors. And I thought maybe
I
we
think
could
clothes.
match.
I think clothes might be the word I used.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yes, I sent him to coordinate the colors of the clothes because he's going to be your.
Well, he didn't say that. He just said coordinate, and I heard colors, and I thought maybe we could make our hairs match. As you can see, it didn't work out the way I intended.
Oh, they match kind
Whatever that hair color is, Rethel, it most definitely does not match.
No, yeah, well, the color doesn't match, but the weird ass situation matches. So they'll definitely know they're associated.
But good news.
Someone's flunking cosmetology school.
Oh yeah. Johnny Angel's here to tell me
Yeah,
not to
Drop
not to
out of
drop out of
high
high school.
Right. I mean, he's actually fortunate he's not bald right now, because that
Yeah.
could be.
It might be better.
But good news, I did successfully make a smoke screen, which
Ooh.
could come in handy if we need it. I tested it. He can tell you it worked. Yeah.
It did. And you see him the bottom
Just
ring of his
slightly
eye just like super red, like down there.
I like that. Yes.
Like he just
that's
had
good.
like a couple good cries,
Oh, yeah.
right? And it's like, it works. It worked.
Yeah, no, it's not all liberating slaves. You know, there's work to be put in on occasion. Fantastic. But we have been blessed, or at least I have, and so that's good.
She looks. She's like, I think this is just La Cuerva.
I mean, yes, it's a crow.
No, I mean,
Well,
and she's, hey, Zhenya.
Oh. Oh.
And then she hops
Rethel
down
has
and
a sad.
stands back up. We did so many things today.
I'm surprised
Thank you.
I'm surprised you cannot tell it's her. I can tell because it frightens me.
Maybe I didn't want it to be her.
But I kind of wanted it to be something else.
Still
crying.
raggedy, yeah.
Quick. What?
Don't worry about it. Okay, so, well, still, like I told Jose, we're gonna do it anyway. So that's comforting.
He said that.
Speaking of Jose, he comes sort of speed walking out of the house and then says, "Oh, he sees Zhenya." He's like, "Yes, so Augustina is upstairs watching the door
Oh, okay,
with the knife,
good, okay.
and she told me to tell you, Miss Zhenya is out."
Well, good, okay. Go ahead and grab a snack and, post up out front. And,
Will do.
all right.
Steps
Have a
back
juice
into the
box,
house.
maybe some pizza, maybe some bagel bites and
Marlena,
Get a
looks
Dunkin'
like you're
Chicken
about you're at the spot where you are probably about ready to get back to the house. The brothers asked you if you would like them to accompany you.
I think so. This is the night before we go to the bar.
that, they gather up the big swords, and you will start your trek back to the house with your escort, one on either side.
Good.
I do. Okay, two thoughts. Cool. One, I want a distraction crew at the party. That basically, if there is a ruckus, that a handful of them will run off into the woods or into the estate
Mm-hmm.
to throw off our scent.
Okay.
Or basically, so they can
So
go through the
basically-
smoke screen.
If they get the signal, it's not part of the main plan, so to speak, but if anything goes sideways,
No, yeah. If there's any sort of ruckus, their
their job is to be like,
is just to run
cause
off.
a bigger ruckus.
Yeah, and probably let the elephant loose.
Okay.
And
Yes. Like some people will love that idea.
Some people.
and to basically be drunken people who got scared of the ruckus, so that
Right.
if they're tracked down, they have reasonable alibi just to be let go.
One of the guys that you've connected with to relay, because you asked to relay info to the restaurant as you were
Mhm,
finding
mhm.
stuff, is very thrilled with the elephant idea. If you shared that with them, because
So make sure it's okay. We don't want to harm, but
he's in his boys like.
just
He seems a little bit like, fuck the police about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He's like, if we're lucky, maybe he'll step on a few of those flues.
Oh,
we
hell
get.
yeah.
Oh, they will be
that absolutely. If
Oh.
it wants to, let it. Just make sure it doesn't get hurt. Let it scream a bit. Let it break some things. Good times. Good times. And then also, where y'all start from. I think I will have probably.
Papers are brought to the kitchen table as Rethel starts with this.
Ooh,
Yeah.
is this our boardroom now?
Jose Luis is basically like he clears some space, like pushes some of the food away towards where Jimena's sitting.
Before I showed up at home,
And then it is gone.
I stopped off at Palabra, and I arranged to have. Are you going together or separately?
Who? Us?
Yeah, are
Us,
you going in
yeah.
together or on your own?
I don't think it matters. so much.
Probably separately.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
I feel
arrange.
like that would draw less attention.
So you and my guy from the docks, a small carriage to take you in, and then you and your lads, a trio of horses from over by the blacksmith. So that you're coming in from different points, arriving at slightly different times, and look the part. So I will have Palabra organize that for tomorrow.
Marilena,
Yes.
you arrive to this scene. It's, maps are getting rolled out with commentaries from Rethold and
There's a
Evine.
chalkboard with times on it.
There's a couple lists that have been jotted down from memories about staff, about guests.
The plans get more and more vague as the timestamps get later into the night.
Right. Couple rooms are indicated, and
Profit.
Marilena, you step into the house
Step
with
5. Profit.
your 2 bodyguards. They sort of keep a respectful distance away and let you sort of approach the table.
Are you saying that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're Madalena with the guards.
Yes.
Yeah, you just arrived, and
I don't have guards. I have Jose's.
your 2 guards sort of keep a respectful distance, but they let you approach the table.
Hi, doggy.
So wait, is this? So this is the ward room.
Basically, at this point, it's as close as you will get. There's plans being drawn. You see Evine has a very precise, almost, perfectly recreated plan of the estate.
Oh.
There's some spots sort of circled on there. There's 2 rooms getting, a lot of attention.
This was the future we'd have
The Iron
crazy
Man.
suit. Yeah, the
Yep.
crazy
The 3D. Yep.
in space. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I tell.
But instead, it looks like
Fran
a stage.
that
A
they
stage
want
mock-up.
to pay attention to everything.
So they sort of post themselves close to the table,
Yeah.
sort of shoulder to shoulder with
They're
Jose
Confederates now.
Espada.
Yeah.
They're sort of the three of them in a row, sort of paying attention to it. They're looking at it as if it's a strategic map.
Because it is a strategic map. Oh, yeah.
Genia, this reinvigorates you a little
Yeah.
bit. This is something to keep your mind of it, and it's a military operation now.
So it's great. I am all over this. It makes more sense if you put this person here, because then this person can't run through this place.
All right.
Funnel off.
I love it. Good.
Your buddy the elephant is included in the planning session.
I have to go apologize.
It says hello.
Do we have like things to represent us? Like, come on. These.
Oh,
this
no, we
salt
have
and pepper
miniatures.
shaker.
Oh, yeah.
No, we have miniatures.
Oh, we have actual.
It's a full 3D. Yeah, it's. I'm like, who the fuck?
Who
She
actually?
actually cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
she totally make little
Yeah.
figures.
There's wood and bone.
She actually carves.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I grabs hers and just puts a piece of bread.
How do you know yours isn't just a piece of bread?
Right. It's just as a crouton.
That's what it is. It's like no, it's
like
fondant. It's fondant over.
Or it's like a braided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, man?
What?
Something about cheese.
Or I think she either said I have cookies or I have to peas.
I heard.
I heard cookies. We'll find out.
It's
Why not both?
There would not be cookies
Yeah,
over
pork
there,
and
though.
It's the difference between roast beef and pea soup. Yeah.
Roast beef.
Ew, pea soup.
Yeah.
Ew, no, not that kind of pea though. You don't want it.
Peas.
I mean, I don't want any kind of pea soup. Pea soup is gross.
Pea soup is amazing, but more for me.
I like peas. I don't like pea soup.
I like pea soup because there's big chunks of
Oh,
ham in
she
it.
has cookies.
Big chunks
Oh,
of
okay, so cookies was correct.
Yeah, you're not gonna roast beef or pea soup.
We're disappointed.
We played the shittiest game of telephone. Ran off the
Are these
table.
like
They're chewy.
just for you?
No.
The message was
That's why
immediately
she
corrupted.
dropped them to the
Try
table.
one of these.
So as you discuss and like you're sort of beefing up your understanding of the plan, at some point the front door opens, and you see Xavier's head sort of poking in, like uncertain that he should be stepping in, and then he sort of motions towards Rethel and said, "There's a gentleman here to see all of you."
I say, I motion to Jose to go out back and come back around.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do that motion, I look up at Marilena and sort of flick my eyes at her two boys to do the same if you're inclined
Wait, do what?
to duck out back and then come around back to the front in case we need extra muscle.
This activates immediately. Xavier does raise a hand and says,
Like 2 seconds, yeah.
I've checked the protocols of Madame Salvador have been respected.
All right.
He seems to check out.
And then like whether or not they go, there's a cover of the plans, and
I send one of them out and keep one with me.
yeah. And I'm like, well, of course, show in the guest,
He sort of nods
And I
and
slide over to the mantle and pull
puts
my pipe.
open the door. In steps a
Well, yeah. There's shit going down in here. We're just not
Yeah.
gonna let them know what.
this looks like a pre-Harlem shaved shot.
Oh yeah. And here comes the motherfucker with the helmet on.
Right. No pants.
Con los terroristas.
Hell. there steps a gentleman into the room wearing a long brown cloak, high collar with a hat. And as he steps in, sort of undoes the collar and slips the hat.
There was some sort of interesting Fayal Sasha Rabbit interaction. Not 100% sure.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I think it was like fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why
Oh,
are there
and then
fireworks?
she did come in. Okay.
If it wasn't knocking,
Someone
I
bought
saw
a new
her.
house or something, probably.
Yeah, the high collar of the cloak gets undone and the hat gets removed, and it is Ricardo.
Oh,
Who's Ricardo?
he's our cousin.
Yes.
Ricardo's the one
The
that
one we broke out of
saved.
jail.
Ah!
Ricardo Mendez,
Janet immediately gets up and
now
embraces
in
him.
temporary employee of Madame Salvadora, but
Yeah.
also carrion crow. Now he returns the embrace very strongly, and then you get a whisper of, "It's been too long."
So much has happened, friend. Come, sit.
Yeah, I'm like, Corvus free. A fellow Corvus free.
And he sort of curls the high collar of his cloak, and you see the crow pin. He says, Salvadora asked whether you might be needing help, but I'm also here as a representative of our common allies.
I say, or I sort of say a little louder than, loud enough to Xavier, tell our friends they can come back in, and I pull the cloak back off the table.
At once, monsieur. And he gets back outside. It takes, a few seconds, and you hear the back door reopen, and everybody sort of come in. There's sort of a quiet nod once they see Ricardo sort of being in the trusted position between the three
Oh yeah.
mercenaries. They just sort of nod politely. Ricardo just removes his glove and starts to take off his clothes, and he's like, "How can I help?"
Well, we all have different backgrounds on how to address these sorts of things, so we're just kind of playing it by ear. And as you can see from the timeline here, we, the plan survives until contact with the enemy. So this is what the basics are.
He steps close to the table, and you just get a. This is, well, if every plan that I've played by ear was this well informed, who knows where life might have taken me.
Yeah, well, this is much more planning than I usually do on anything either. So, but we have very specific goals as opposed to our typical.
And
No whiteboard or anything. I mean, we're doing this work on behalf of others, so I suppose more attention than usual.
And believe me, your efforts have been thoroughly appreciated. Everybody's waiting for this party with bated breath.
I
This
feel like it's been long coming at this point.
this may be a turning point for us if you manage to succeed.
It would be a hilarious sigh of relief.
Absolutely.
It's very
Well,
important.
I am here to offer you whatever resources the Crow have in town. It is at your disposal. If you are looking for firearms, snipers, weapons, muscle, the troops are ready and willing at your word. We fight for our survival here.
Well, we could be the cavalry if we need it. If we need to kill everybody in the room. I don't say that.
I'm like, maybe.
I was like, have you not met Jenny?
Uh,
Do we need muscle?
I basically give a short list of the names of individuals that I know for a fact are in the Baron's pocket or in the.
I feel like at the very least we should tell them about the rooms where the guy.
Oh no, yeah, that's
Meeting.
I'm giving that's why I'm giving him the full layout,
That's
now he will
of
pick
great
that out.
importance to them.
and I definitely slide him the list of names of individuals we know who don't need to be suffered to live. So you know, if they are come across or end up, you know, in our way, then they can absolutely be neutralized. And as we're part of that organization as well, this is all basically. How do we think we can incorporate them if we want to, or should we? I think we've got it pretty set.
I think it's always
I
good
feel
to
like
have
we
people.
should probably leave them out of it as much as possible, because the whole thing is basically like trying to make sure that they don't get.
Yeah.
They could be involved in our possible escape route.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That is something we can do.
I
I will
slide.
tell you right now, I will be hard pressed to tell these men that they completely have to sit out of an operation that may decide on the future of their organization.
Absolutely.
But we can cover your retreat. Absolutely.
I'm like, if there are any who are kind-hearted towards creatures of the field, there's an elephant that might get loose. If that can be recovered and well treated,
You get a pretty hearty laugh at that.
yeah.
He is a very nice elephant.
I do not doubt it
He
for a
has
second.
many manners, more than I've met with some people.
I mean, I've met some people that's not hard to do, but
With,
yeah.
with this crowd, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm like, and who knows if it's got a good new home, who knows what interesting things it can be trained to do. So I show them where that sort of situation is and how there's going to be a crew that is going to be sent to fly off in on that, and that if any of these people on this list are shitty enough to follow after them, then you just kill them all. And I pull up another scratch of parchment that's the exit route, and I'm like, whoever gets this estate after the Baron we murder, I sure hope they never make us mad, or I sure hope they figure out where this stuff is. So I show him all the different escape routes, and I'm telling him, that I'm giving him option A, option B, and you know, if they hit hard contact from anyone chasing us, to not go overboard, just, you know, hit and run.
That's right. We'll put up a screen.
Yeah,
You leave this piece to us.
absolutely. Yeah, no.
Your
that's-
exits will be covered.
Oh yeah, no, that's I have no doubt now.
He looks almost giddy for a second. He's like, this is amazing work. If we live to tell the tale, you will have a lifelong ally in the carrion crows.
Well, we don't want any more names on that list, unless it's for proper good work. So that's what we're doing.
Jenya has that I'm really not listening face anymore, and is just like intently staring at Ricardo. Like waiting.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. We know what the timeline is for tomorrow. It's nice and late already. Any last input? And everyone sort of just gives the nah, let's do the thing. Pause. Okay then. And I start shucking stuff into the fireplace because we don't want anything left. Yeah.
Where do we have a place in the party that is designated a zone for us to meet at? Should we need to communicate?
No, we have
There's a couple of safe spots.
we have runners. We know what couple. That's kind of why I like having you guys with
Yeah.
backup, because you can send them to run off. Oh, and my Jose will be ghosting as a
Right.
as as work. So
You have
can-
about like 3 or 4 safer spots where you're still in the party, but like if you need to have a covered conversation, like you can have those in there, and it will be, like there's they did some solid casing work, so you can assume walking into this that if you need to pull something on the fly and have a meeting point, you have that figured out.
Yeah, Jenny and I are going to be posted in one spot, which is within quick chit-chat distance of Evine, which is within quick access to both of the contact points. So, I feel like that's within like a courtyard or 2 courtyards adjacent. And that way you can have my Jose or,
Which one's yours? Palapa?
no, mine's
Jose Luis.
Jose
Oh,
Luis,
He's the one that doesn't have a
my acolyte.
his second name is not a function.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was his birth name,
yeah.
and then he was rebaptized as
born
Jose.
again. Yeah.
Also,
Born again Jose.
Yeah.
part of my shadowy thing, I can hear what's happening within
Yep.
shadows.
That's right.
So
She's
Can't-
got a
can't send
sniping.
message, but I.
She's got a sniping and like a conversation spot.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm guessing. So you would probably articulate that as speak to the shadows and you'll hear.
Mhm.
So yeah, just put your hand over your mouth and there's a shadow.
Speak into like your glass.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Jose Luis will be flying, just ghosting around the party. So if you need to snag him and ask for a drink or something, you can relay to us, or you can send Jose Espada to find a restroom or what have you, or one of your bully boys, because
That's
they're
right.
because they're in as well.
Sounds good.
All right. So as things start to get broken down, everything sort of gets packed up. Ricardo actually returns the glands, and then from his coat pulls out a bottle of liquor and grabs 2 glasses from the kitchen and basically turns to Genia and says,
I start laughing as soon as I see that bottle, and I'm like, I'm going to take first watch, and I go sit out on the porch.
he sort of steps toward Genia and says, "You said a lot has happened. Fortunately, I have a few hours to kill."
Good. Yeah, she hops up and she's like, where do we sit?
This is your house.
I don't spend a lot of time inside of it.
There's a nice back porch.
Yeah. If you want to sit
I do
outside,
have a garden.
yeah.
A lovely garden, mind you.
He actually pulls one of a couple of the chairs and carries the
Did you
glasses.
fix this spot's hair, or at least change it to something natural?
Goes to sit outside
Closer.
Closer.
without a word, like sits
wasn't
the
meant to be
chairs, and he pours
No,
you a
it's
glass
fine to
and
shave it.
hands it to you,
No,
and he
it's
sits quiet.
It's more of a dirty.
Let it all out.
If he puts some like
Roast the bottle
just
later,
tinted
just-
product in it, it'll.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs like
Yep.
a little pomade,
As-
like swipe
as
it one
you-
way, and then it just kind of.
As you drain the glass,
one,
does not
light
interrupt
brown.
you.
And if
He
he
just
goes the other way,
lets you
can
tell
see
your tale, but
spots
as your
that still
glass
haven't
like goes
quite
low, he just
fixed
refills.
themselves.
It
It looks much
Just
better.
constant
She cleans
running.
it
He
out.
goes up and down.
It
But
usually
that's
takes
okay,
a couple
she's an able
tries.
drinker.
That's
Like-
right.
It's just water.
So
yeah, it
he
looks
just
more
sits
like a
and
real
listens to
hair
you.
color
Yeah.
And now
We're
she
going to a
sleeps.
fancy party, so you can do his hair, and it'll look normal.
But I have to talk to people who know death.
Yeah, he should do his fish
Mm.
hair different than
Gross.
usual.
He sort of arches an eyebrow at that,
Yeah, grandmother said this.
and he
And then she goes, she's not my grandmother.
Darkening her eyebrows
that's
and
what you
giving
call
herself a mole. And she's just gonna look like a
See.
straight telenovela.
Yeah.
Blonde hair.
you were right.
With dark eyebrows.
A lot has happened.
Get some
I have an
contour.
intrigue.
He sort of leans into his chair, and then he sort of rubs his temples, and he's
Holy
like,
shit, she has a lot of shit to say.
"Well, I don't know if I am the right crow, Riddles are not usually my forte, but
No, mine either.
I may have a lead for you.
Okay. You are my friend. She said to look to my friends. There.
Well, so we have some associates that are what you would call experts in death. The Eisen,
Sorry.
the practitioner of Hexenwerk.
Mm.
Oh. I love that. Oh, look, I can just do it in here.
They're the file line of guardianship as far as protecting the land from the horrors that come out of the swamp. So many dead after the War of the Cross, you see. The fields are barren. And unfortunately, the dead do not sleep. The practitioner of Hexenwerk know how to put the dead back to sleep, but there are some of them, when they've practiced for a long time, also experts of ailments of the soul. If your sister is still in there, there might be a way to break her bindings. But this would take someone who is an expert at the craft, and I do not know many of them. In fact, I've only served with one. And right now, he serves in Eisen at one of the toughest spots that the Homeland Garrison has to offer, basically holding the line against almost endless waves of monsters and undead. But he's been known to perform what is called a severing.
Dude, seriously? Is that Alexei? I knew it. Sorry, this is like an out of character
Nice.
thing,
I served with him some years ago. Major Krauser, that is his name.
but called it. Well, before you even said.
Nice.
Oh, sorry.
It's
okay.
from their old game.
Yeah. Well, he played that character first
This
in
is
a
fanfic.
Warhammer game.
His fanfic is our game now.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
I don't think.
Well, I mean,
It's like the last
Warhammer
one.
first, and then what after? We played
No,
in
it's
Dragon
been
Realms,
transposed a few times.
and then Exalted, or was it the other way around?
He sort of
Anyway,
leans
he
closer
Yeah.
and basically says, this party would happen tomorrow. If you want to risk this journey,
Of course.
you have my sword. I will go with you.
Ooh, very nice.
She actually like frowns a little bit and goes, I don't need other people to risk their lives. I will do it.
Well,
I've come this far. Nothing will stop me.
you are risking your life for me and mine. You've risked your life to break me out of jail. I am standing here because of you and your friends.
Maybe we'll actually get to sail on a boat.
Yeah, right?
No, it's overland.
Yeah.
Well, the fastest route will actually take you by boat.
Yeah, because we
You
have.
have to,
Because
you have to do
otherwise you'll have to cross a lot of shitty mountains.
Yeah.
I don't want to cross any more shitty mountains.
Here's the
to be
fun
honest.
part
I'm
though.
really good at shitty mountains though.
The boat,
Well, Russell has to do a skill now.
Can you imagine how unhinged she would be on a boat
Yeah, we played
in
with
the middle of
Amaris.
the water? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, when there's no earth, she can't.
So
Right.
would you like some
Bring a
AC,
jar
or
of
just
dirt.
give you a jar?
Well,
Just get a jar.
Jenya's not gonna like it because the shortest boat line that will take you inland into Iceland goes through Montaigne.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, riverboat cruise.
So you basically have to go along the coast and cross into Montaigne and then inland.
You're just gonna hit
But
her
yes.
nose.
You gotta do it though.
She's gonna
We're
feel
friends.
how dead their
Aren't
earth
we?
is. Of course.
So I don't need a reason to accompany you, do I?
No.
I know the way, and it would be my pleasure.
Away, away.
I just wanted. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, it's not. It's not
Yeah.
related.
It is strange. I don't know what I'll do when I have her back.
Maybe ask her what she wants to do.
Of course. I've just spent so many years looking for her.
Oh, check something else to look for. Check that.
All of a sudden, TV? What? Can I help you?
She's probably.
Yeah?
It's like if your sister woke back and it's like, I don't know where I put my keys.
Have you come for a drink, Evine? She's very strange.
Somebody put a nail that girl's pins to the floor.
I like your team. I have style.
We are a good family.
I will drink to that.
You should see what animals they can turn into.
Nice.
She's one of my favorite characters of Mother Around.
Oh, he's gonna die now.
My character's married to someone else. Okay. But
Yeah, that's why he can die.
rude.
I'm not gonna kill him. John's gonna kill him.
Rude.
Okay.
If that happens, it happens.
Well, John's not gonna kill him, just like I didn't kill the other NPCs, so it's okay.
But yeah, with that, there's
My finger directly on my glasses.
Lol, nerd.
all right. Any
Nerd poker. One of the guys.
Oh, here we go.
One of the guys.
that's what just happened. Nerd poker.
One of the guys will drop into the nerd voice. Hey guy here, and apparently they've dubbed that character Billy. Very Billy energy this evening. And in the middle,
Billy.
of one of the random things, just all of a sudden out of nowhere, he's like, "I brought a gun, you guys. We can shoot him." And you're just like, "What the fuck? Whoa!" That escalated quickly.
Right. Is Billy okay?
Billy's too intense, guys. Stop inviting that asshole.
I think Billy's going through some things.
Yeah, don't let Billy
His
around.
dad's a
anything.
little weird. Maybe we
Yeah.
should talk to him.
Yeah, he needs to talk to some people, some important people in suits. So yeah,
But yes, any other business that you would like to attend in this eve?
I just
I'm too distracted.
go around being like, who's actually staying here the night to stand watch, so we get a watch rotation going.
Zabby
Because-
actually offers to take care of it,
I will be here.
so you can be nice and refreshed.
Well, you've been up all day already watching. Unless you've been catnapping and I haven't seen it, you need to take a shift too. So
Maybe
Well-
he doesn't need sleep.
Well, Jenya will do whatever she needs.
all right, yeah.
You can get posted out back. Ricardo actually offers to assist as well.
All right, cool. If he's staying the night, then he gets a shift. Cool. So between everybody, that sounds like more than enough to cover the entire evening. And we call it a night.
All right. And with that, we will do the same. Give yourself a 5 XP for last minute purchases. Next session, we're gonna have ourselves a party.
All right. Are we good for next week?
You should be. At least, I mean, me and Jaren are.
Next week is the 30th? First.
First,
Foist.
yes. You're right. A foist. Yeah, I think we're good, right?
Cool. So we should revisit our friends in the Sierras next Sunday.
Yes.
And then Sunday the 7th, 7th or 8th?
Yep.
7.
No,
1 plus 7
8.
is 8.
Oh, alright. That's fine.
That was the only reason I knew.
8. Oh, very nice.
What? Sit. Sit.
No.
Thank you.
There was a couple attempts.
Wow. Come
She
on.
does not like when you put your arms.
No big arms. That's just for Jesus.
Fair.
Big arms for Jesus.
Now use the pose of the Lord in vain.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's all Harlequin. Like, patchy.
That's
It's
awesome.
what happy. And they're so comfy.
I mean, it's pretty hideous, to be honest.
It is, but in the best way.
When we
It's ready to-
walked,
it's
when
ready
we
to
walked
make a
in, because I
George Henry
asked
cry.
you what size you needed, because we had been there before, because the Haunted Mansion was one of the first rides we went on,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, oh, I should find out what size she needs, and so I texted you, and then we went back,
Uh-huh.
and the 2X, like, I guess someone had looked at it earlier, because it was just right in the front, and I was like, oh, here we go, for Jessica. Match made in heaven.
Why is Phil so
Worked up.
That's right.
New and different.
George isn't here to be scared of her.
I know,
so-
she's ready to scare George Henry. It's great.
She's doing the pose, and on the day of Jesus, too. Oh, there she.
Here you go, get Sasha now.
Yeah, she already is.
Was scared by the
What do I need to? Oh God.
people shooting off fireworks randomly.
I'm like I had 7 experience before and I have 6 now.
I have 21. Well, actually, now I have 5 more. I have
That's
26.
right. Time to
So
call
I was
foul.
up to like 18 and then I spent most of it and now I'm like,
I'm just
oh.
sad because it's like 2 sessions in a row where I don't have 8.
No.
That's right.
I just saved those. I'm just gonna save them.
Giving myself another.
Here,
I gave
I'm actually gonna
myself
still it was with.
There we go. That should be good.
Just that, please.
this. There we go.
4 dots in the.
Say goodnight, Internet.
Good
night. I'm hoping that by next session I'll have at least a framework on Obsidian Portal.